Welcome to the stream, you absolute savages. Well, in today's sorry about that. Today's video, we're going to be answering as many questions as possible. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to just be hanging out, vibing as you get questions, as you got stuff. Definitely pop them in the chat because I want to be able to answer as many of your questions as possible. So, definitely give me the opportunity to do that. But till then, we're going to be vibing, hanging out, playing a little bit of a snowboard game until everyone shows up because that sounds pretty fun. So, hopefully, y'all don't make fun of me too much for this, okay? So, what's up, dudes? Voo, what's up, dog? Yo, Dan, what's up? So, if you guys have questions, pop them in the chat. We're gonna just be vibing, hanging out, try to do some tricks. Gonna do some stuff. So, you got questions, got concerns, definitely. Okay, I am a god at this game, so just give me a minute. We're absolutely gnarly. Ooh, look at this. Okay, gotta get warmed up. We gotta get warmed up. We're gonna be vibing. I've been training. I've been out here training. Absolutely. Oh, see, I told you. Boom. Okay, we're gonna call that a little bit of slots. But as you guys got questions, pop into the chat. We're gonna answer. My goal tonight is to be able to answer as many beginner trick, beginner task, beginner anything questions. Oh, are we gonna knuckle? No, we're freaking gonna get cooked. All right, so sleeper. No way, dude. You got a tailbone. I mean, you have a tailbone, but you got cooked. I was just trying to board slide out. Can we go the other way? Oh, yeah. Good. What do you think about an arbor? Okay. Oh, we're going to try to... It's going to hand plant. We got a face plant. We're all good. What do you think of the arbor for campers for beginning? Appreciate the information. I think, honestly, when it comes to, like... I don't know much about arbor, particularly, like, on a personal level. But I know that Red Gerard has now become like a professional snowboarder under their entity. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. I think when it comes to a beginner snowboarder, I definitely think that you need to be really focusing on skills are going to be like the most important thing. Because the more skills that you have, the better you're going to be, better. And so if you can focus on your body positions, can you focus on your body positions? Watch this. Oh, we're not even logged in. So when you focus on your body positions as a beginner snowboarder, that's going to be like the absolute best thing that you can do for your snowboarding. Because if you can focus on your body positions, then like you're going to be able to like stay on your feet. And I actually made a video about this. I'm going to be dropping it most likely on Friday. When it comes to gear, I truly believe that you have to be like... Gear does matter, but the more you focus on your body positions, the better you're going to be. And then as you become a better snowboarder, then that's when, like, the actual snowboard matters more, if that makes sense. Hey, Birdman. Yo, what up, Jay? What up, dog? How we doing? Let's see. I'm working on becoming an EMT. I just clicked that. I'm working on an EMT. And ski patrol. Dude, let's go. That's freaking awesome. What other certification skills are important than being able to ride well? I think that's like one thing that you could do, and I don't know this to be like 100% factual. If you start getting your pyrotechnician's license, then you could be doing stuff like setting off avalanches in like areas like this, because if you have your license, it probably is gonna like help. I almost got mine when I was younger, but then I ended up just like going against it. So pyrotechnician is probably good. EMT, like EMT is gonna be good. I also think just being a good rider is going to be like super critical, because a lot of times if you have somebody who just got hurt, you got to be able to make it down on a toboggan, right? You got to be able to make it down a toboggan. And if you can't make it down a toboggan, then like you're less likely fit for the job. I think that's like a minimum that you got to really do. And so I would definitely say like get good at snowboarding, pyrotechnician's license, any medical licensing education that you can get probably is gonna be like a big deal for sure. Sleeper says cooked and leaving in 2 days for Wolf for a 7-day rip, dude. 7-day shred rip. Yeah, that's gnarly. Do you wear butt pads at all? So I think like wearing butt pads is like helps. I mean, it sucks anyways to like be absolutely cooked. Oh, I'm so guys. Not in real life. Love the content. What and what you do. Any advice for other 50? Any advice for the over 50 guys and how to get past the fear? And I can stop and slow me down. Let me pause this real quick and start like saying what up to you guys. Like get a little more into this in a hot second. There we go. There we go. So when it comes to like fear and stuff. There we go. There we go. My bad. I've been messing with the setups and settings, and I've been like trying to mess with the settings and try to make this like way better. And but we're back, right? We're here. Yeah, we're here. We're vibing. Thanks for the stuff. But yeah, so when I was 17 years old, I broke my back, and it literally freaked me out. I was scared to go fast, scared to hit moguls, scared to make turns, scared to hit ice, scared to hit jumps, scared to hit rails. I was like the absolute most like I was like so terrified, to be honest, and like having the fear absolutely cripple me is like so frustrating, so annoying, such a big challenge, you know. And so I've definitely been in there in my life with that. And I created this like 1 hour long how I overcame my fear on my online course as like a upsell. But when it comes to fear, the big three things that I would love for you to identify to be able to overcome fear, whether it's from a past injury, whether it's from just being scared and held back, is identify what is causing the major problem of stemming that fear in terms of your body position. So I talk about this a lot, and we might go over like watch a couple of my videos just so we can break it down and stuff and make like live streams a little bit more interesting. But when it comes to what is the body position that's holding you back the most, okay? So when it comes to fear, if your body position is in a perfect balance position in the center of your board, you're going to be able to go heel side, toe side, forward, back, anywhere you want in a very easy way. But what we do as humans, we tend to be in this body position that compromises our ability to balance, puts our lives in, it puts our body in jeopardy of injury because we're in a compromised body position. That's just like a natural thing that snowboarders do, and it's counterproductive. So somebody like me who's had, you know, a lot of years of education, somebody's been put so much time in the game to try to make you as awesome as possible, has figured that out the hard way. I've broken my back. I've had 2 hip surgeries, not snowboard related, but 2 hip surgeries, broken back, broken wrist, concussions, blah, blah, blah. So when it comes to like that, so you got to be able to identify what is your body position. And are you hunched over the waist and you're more like this? This is a terrible body position. This is not good. Most snowboarders are in this position. The other bad body position is all your weight's in the back foot and you're leaning back and you're riding like this. You're like back here. Okay, if you're in the back seat body position, that truly puts you at jeopardy to be balanced and agile, essentially. Okay, so it's gonna be number one is like what is the best body position to be in and which one are you not in, and we'll watch a video in a moment just so that we can like truly understand this and break this down. But that's gonna be like number one. Number two is once we correct that body position, you're gonna be able to feel a lot more agile, a lot more balanced, and when you start going fast, it's not gonna be a big deal. Number two is being able to know how to do proper turns. Once you have the better body position, you make proper turns. Like imagine you're driving your car and the tires are in the back. Now, the benefit of the tires being in the back is that as you're going, the back end smoothly and quickly is able to turn while the front stays in the center, okay? as you're pivoting like that, that's extremely useful if you're driving a tractor. Anytime you're going over 15 miles an hour, it's pretty sketchy. But if your tires are in front and you're able to go fast, now let me take a step back. When the tires are in the front of your car, like you drive your normal car, a bus, a truck, whatever, the steering tires, the ones that turn, are in the front. Now, why that's so critical to understand is because I can go 1 mile an hour or 100 miles an hour and still have the ability to stay in control, turn, change directions, do what I need to do. Now, when we go into snowboarding, the principle applies. If I can steer from the front of my board, that means now I have control at 1 mile an hour or 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. I still have the ability to make really good turns. So once you understand body positions, you understand turns, you're significantly going to increase your control, the freedom on your snowboard, and you dramatically reduce your injuries. Those are like the two biggest things for overcoming fear. And then 3 is just putting yourself in that position as often as possible. Another driving example, that you're driving down the car for the very first time ever, you're driving down the highway, and you're going 20 miles an hour, it's scary, you're going fast. Now you don't even think about it. Now you can go 80 miles an hour down a highway, not saying you should, but you theoretically could just be on your phone, right? There's a difference between the very first time you ever drove your car and the now. You're driving 80 miles an hour. That's pretty dangerous, pretty gnarly, without even grabbing a phone, right? But we're comfortable then. So the more you can get like exposure therapy in a way, that's going to be very beneficial to you overcoming fear. If I am absolutely terrified of steep runs, but I rode 100 days in a row of steep runs, you think by the end of that, I'm going to have the same fear? So wouldn't it be nice if you could go ride that mogul run 100 days and just not have fear? So by the end of that 100 days, theoretically probably like 10 runs a day, we're talking 1,000 times you've been down this steep run, you're probably going to be like, kind of bored, I'm going to ride this switch. So those are like the 3 big things when it comes to fear. I do take a step back. I do create a lot of free content. I also create content that is behind a paywall because I want that content to have everything in it. And I create stuff. I work with companies that I believe is actually going to impact positively to the end user, which is going to be you watching this right now. So I have an online snowboard lesson that you could take, and I have like a bonus / upsell if you. It's literally a 1 hour long, it's 45 minutes to an hour long breakdown on how I overcame fear of breaking my back, almost being paralyzed, how I managed coming back from 2 hip surgeries without being in pain. No, sorry. I'm in a lot of pain. I've come back from broken back, broken wrists, concussions, hip surgeries. I've come back from a lot of injuries. And I am always scared of like the gnarliest, biggest jumps. That's like inevitable. But coming back to like going fast, hitting moguls, hitting trees, hitting medium, 45, and 45 jumps or below, I'm pretty comfortable with. But I've overcome a lot of fear. And I've also been able to manage, okay, I have a hip surgery. How do I put myself mentally in a position to not be scared of that? What if I come back to snow? What if I'm scared? No, it's not. I put myself in a position to not even be scared coming back out of surgery. So I think there's like a big mindset stuff that I talk about in that video. And I think mindset's like some of the biggest stuff. When learning board slides, do I need to accept the fact that I need to eat snow a few times before I stick it? So Dana, honestly, there's a double-edged sword. And I'm going to have to say, in my like professional-ish opinion, the answer is no. The answer is no. There are ways to allow yourself to progress without needing to die, okay? Now, coming from somebody who has literally broken their back, hip surgeries, blah, 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 the last thing I want you to do is crash a bunch. So as a coach, I strive to create the opportunity for you to essentially you don't need to crash to progress. There is a point where crashing is extremely beneficial because it's going to give you feedback. If I crash, I did something wrong. There's a direct correlation, okay? We all understand that. There's also a point in the world where there's also like a point where that's just like not a really good idea. Okay. I'm gonna do this real quick. Give me one second. I'm gonna draw something out for you because I'm like super artistic. Of course, we're having some technical issues. I was gonna draw my beautiful iPad. Let's see. I know it's not. Oh, that's so weird. There it is. There it is. Let's do this. There we go. Yes. Okay, we're getting there. There we go. Boom. We are vibing right now. Okay. Here's the best thing ever. We're gonna imagine that there's here's a box. Okay. We're gonna draw the most epic box you've ever seen. So here's the start. Whoa. Start. This thing is being funky. Okay. Here's the start. Here's our beautiful box. Okay. Now, when I'm doing a board side, obviously my board's going to be going sideways. A board side means that you're. Hello. Oh. Thank you, Jose. There we go. Done and dusted. Is that better? No echo? God, Jose, you got my back, dog. Okay. So when we're in this position, we're doing this board side. We have this start, which is over here, and we have our board going sideways. A board side is, our board is sideways, right? Okay. Now, 3 things that we really got to understand when it comes to doing a board slide is our body positions, okay? Number 1, wherever you are on the box, you want to make sure your belly button is directly, this is our belly button. Our belly button is directly over the feature, okay? So if I were to do a board slide like this, my belly button should be right about here. As long as my belly button is over the feature, I'm going to be able to ride the entire thing, okay? So that's not a problem. That's number 1. Number 2 is as I'm on the board, so this is like, imagine this is the box from like looking straight on, and then my snowboard is like, that's like, our snowboard's like this. It's flat, right? Now, as we're traveling, and just imagine that the box is going like this way. As we're traveling, we want to make sure our board, like this, is flat on the rail. If it's not flat and our toes are up, that means that we're going to be sliding on the edge right here. We're going to fall over, so we want to make sure our board is absolutely flat, okay? Boom. Number 1, make sure your belly button is stacked over the feature. Number 2 is make sure your board is flat, okay? So that's obviously pretty self-explanatory. Boom, boom. Number 3, the other big thing is as you're on this your eyes are looking at the end of the feature. The reason why we do that, make sure you can still hear me, beautiful. The reason why we do that is anytime I'm on a box or a feature and I'm scared and I look down, notice what I'm going to do. My weight is going to travel forward, therefore I'm going to fall over. So we don't want to do that. Okay. Now going back to this analogy, that's number 1. We're starting over here. Now when you very first start this progression, here's exactly what I would do. Step number 1 looks like this. You're going to ride a 50-50, which means that your board is in this direction. Okay, it's pointed and towards the end of the rail. Here's my binding, right? I'm going to actually 50-50 the rail until about here. So at the 25% of the end of the rail, I'm only going to slide 25% of this feature. Now, the reason why this is absolutely critical is because if I just start to get my board a little sideways right here, just like this, I got 45 degrees right here. Notice how much consequences there's not. If I jump on way at the beginning, all of a sudden, I have the more chance of slipping out, falling, and crashing. But if I establish my balance right here, hold that balance through the duration of that spot, and then I start to turn my board sideways at the end, I'm going to do two major things. One, build my confidence, and two, my body understands what is flat because I'm not jumping into it. Cool. That's going to be like number one. That's what I would do for the very first time ever going into a box. And by then, I don't need a crash. And I'm only going to make the board go 45 degrees. Cool. The second time I come back, then number two is I'm going to try to get to 90 degrees at that 25% mark, okay? So this first one is 25%. This next part is I'm going to get to 90 degrees or as close as I can to 90 degrees at this last 25%. Okay? So then this is the 25% mark. I'm trying to get my board to here, which means I'm going to jump on, I'm going to ride, and then I'm now starting to get my board to be 90 degrees. And I want to be 90 degrees at that 25% mark. What's cool about this is now I'm starting to understand how do I get the board to actually get sideways. And I'm now understanding how to get the board sideways while staying flat and not dying. So the goal of being able to do the board slide is to do it in incremental steps that nearly guarantees success from one step to the other. And if I can do that, then I have a better chance of learning, I have a better chance of staying safe, and I have a better chance of being confident doing this because I'm not dying the whole time, okay? Now we're going to undo some of this. Number three is now I'm going to try to get to 90 degrees at the 50% mark, okay? So right here, I'm going to now jump on 50-50, and then right about here, I'm going to start to get to 90 degrees. I'm going to be 90 degrees. Now I'm trying to slide this whole thing 50% of the box from a 90-degree position. Now, the 90 degrees might be hard to spend as much time as you need to, but the goal is just to get 90%. Or maybe even it's like get 80 degrees, but get to 90 because that's where we want to be. Also, why I love 90 degrees is because look where my bindings are. I am now even on the box, allowing me, right here, allowing me to have the most amount of balance because my feet are even and my weight's even. If I'm like 45 degrees, I'm kind of twisted and sometimes I have more pressure on one foot than the other, then that could be problematic. Okay? So that's number three. Number four, can you guess what's next? Instead of 25%, 50%, let's try to go to 75%. So like 75% of the box, I am trying to go 50-50, and then I'm going to go into this 90 degrees as soon as possible and try to slide 75% of this box. That's not it. 75% of this box in a board slide. And sometimes I need to be in step 1 for 5 tries. Step 2 for 5 tries. Step 3 for 5 tries. Step 4 for 5 tries. Now, you might be like, Tommy, this is like taking forever and it's a long progression. I would rather you feel comfortable, confident, and do this. And sometimes you only need 1 attempt at each step, or maybe it's 2, maybe it's 3, maybe it's 4. But I would rather you feel so comfortable and confident that you can do this without crashing. Because now guess what? By the time we get to the end of this, you've developed so much skill. You're such an absolute god that you're going to be able to ride this box with confidence. And we're not even done yet, okay? And Ark with the freaking membership. Let's go. The gifted membership from my boy Ark. Let's go. Dude, you're a freaking G-O-D. Big shout out to Chris for watching, who has also received the gift. So definitely give the boy Ark a freaking hype on that one. Let's go, dude. Moving back over to step number 4 is 75%. I keep doing that. 75%. Okay. Now step 5 It's not 100%. Check this out. This is what we're going to do. This is really cool. You're going to do about 95% of it is going to be done. And now here's why. We're going to land right here. So now this is technically at the start that we see right here. The start has this thing, has a jump, right? So it's going to be a jump. That's our jump. Okay. So now as we do this jump, we're actually going to be catching a little bit of air. And the absolute moment you land, then you're going to go into a board slide. But you're not landing in a board slide. You're going to land and then rotate. That's our rotation. Let's do this. Woo! That's our rotation sign to get to that board slide right about here. So you're going to go like this. Land into it. Notice that I'm not jumping and landing 90. I land and get into it as soon as possible. Does that make sense? Okay, that's 5. And then this is going to be 6. I'm going to redraw this beautiful jump. Okay, that's number 6. Now, number 6 is going to be landing at 90 degrees. Now, this is where we actually do the board slide. But by the time you get to this, you're going to be jumping. You, A, know how to get your board to 90. B, your body knows exactly what body position it's searching for without you needing to think about it, without you needing to try to figure out what that is. You already know it because you've just done it at least 5-6 times prior. Boom, 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 boom. Your body knows what to do by now. Okay? So now you're going to land at 90 degrees, which means as you jump, you're creating that 90-degree rotation in the air, and you're landing at 90 degrees. Okay? So then you're creating this 90-degree landing on the box. Boom. Then you're going to hold that for the entire duration. One thing that gets a little confusing to people is we're trying to get back to our normal board angle here, but this should be done in the air, not while still on the box. A lot of people will start to rotate from like a board slide position here and start getting to a board slide and like getting, they're going from like 90 degrees to 45 degrees and then to like almost that. So you see how the board's pivoting? That's not the goal. The goal is to ride this whole entire box at 90 degrees, and the moment you exit the box, then you go back to your neutral position, which is the board pointed down the fall line. That is like the goal to make a board slide proper. You land at 90, ride the entire thing at 90 degrees. Then when I'm in the air exiting the feature, that's when I would actually rotate my board out. Does that make sense? So this is going to be for a board slide. Okay. That's for a board slide. This also could be a front side board slide. You can use the exact same progression, or it could be for a backside board slide. Does that all make sense? Now, we just had a whole bunch of thoughts and theories, but does this actually work in the real world? Well, big shout out to Jose.
What's up, my dudes? Tommy Bennett here, and today...
That's not the one I want. Let's do this one. I'm going to find another one. If you guys got other questions, let me know. I'm just kind of running on this right now.
My dudes.
It's like, yo, Tommy, we can't see it, bro. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Okay.
Are you bored of doing this 50-50? If so, it is time to step up your game and learn how to turn your board sideways as easy and safe as possible. But first, let's get inspired by this awesome snowboard montage. What's up, guys? Now, the very first thing that we want to do is as we're riding in, our eyes are looking at the end of the feature. One thing that's really awesome about that is if I look down, I tend to drop my shoulders down and it puts us in a less awesome position. And if I keep my eyes up or at the end of the box, it keeps my spine in a better position to be balanced. After that, I love talking about keeping the lead shoulder pointed at the end of the rail as your board goes sideways. And the reason is your lower body is gonna follow where your upper body is. So if I keep my lead shoulder pointed at the end of the rail, jump into a little bit of a board slide, because this shoulder is pointed downhill, my lower body wants to come back to that neutral position. So as you're doing this board slide, I highly recommend keeping your eyes and lead shoulder pointed at the end of the rail. It's gonna make things 10 times easier. So there's two major ways to do a backside board slide. One is gonna be called the scissor method. The other method, pivot your back foot around, almost like you're doing a basketball pivot. That's gonna allow our board to go sideways. Now the pivot movement is 60% of my weight, meaning my belly button is gonna shift over my lead foot. Notice that my lead shoulder, hip, and knee are all stacked together. And then I'm just gonna imagine that I am dribbling a ball and I'm doing this pivot movement. But of course, we're gonna make sure that we're adding this lead shoulder. So my lead shoulder is pointed down towards you, and then I'm pivoting. Notice that my spine is rotating, and you're seeing a little bit of my logo, but not a lot. You're not seeing all of it, but you're seeing a little bit. And the most—
Does that make sense? I really believe keeping your lead shoulder pointed at the end of the rail and your eyes allows you to come back, because wherever your shoulders are, the lower body wants to catch back up. Does that make sense?
The most important thing about this tactic is making sure that you have 60% of your weight over your lead foot, making that pivot 1,000 times easier.
And the cool thing about this drill right here, obviously I'm doing it at Big Snow. Big shout out to Big Snow. This is an indoor place in New Jersey. And you can practice this at home. There's two different mechanics that we're going to be talking about, because I think there's some people, it's funny because I coach at summer camp. Shout out if you want to come to summer camp with me, let me know. But there's two different methods that I teach at summer camp. In 1 week of camp, people love this method and makes sense. The next week, I try to teach that. It doesn't make sense. They love the other methods. So there's definitely different tactics on how to achieve the 90 degrees. And that's why having this visual aid instead of just the drawing is pretty critical. But you can literally practice this with no snowboard at your house, or grab your snowboard and practice it at your house with your snowboard on. You don't even need to be snowboarding to practice snowboarding.
And then our method number 2 is going to be the scissor mechanic. Now our goal is take our lead foot, and I'm going to pull it behind me 45 degrees. And I'm gonna take my back foot and push it forward for another 45 degrees, which combines makes us a 90-degree board slide.
I do wanna just like draw this real quick, because if we had like a foot and another foot, and this one rotates to this X mark, and this one just rotates to this X mark, guess what? We now have 90 degrees. Hopefully that made sense and that followed along. What's beautiful about this one is that as this foot only has to do 50% of the work and just go to this X. Now that's gonna be nice. Simultaneously, at the same time, this one is also working that other 50%. So you have 50%, 50% simultaneously happening. That's gonna create that 90 degrees that we're looking for. That's not the 90 degrees that we're looking for the board slide. That's the scissor mechanic, which it's the legs moving in the opposite direction, which I absolutely freaking love. Now the other tactic, which also is extremely useful, you have this foot right here, and then you have this foot. Now this is the lead foot. This is the back foot. Now this back foot now has to go all the way over here to this X. The good thing about this is you're going to keep all your weight on this back foot, and then this foot has no weight on it. So the back foot allows it to move freer or more freely, but notice how much work that leg or that one foot has to do. Then that allows this board to be at 90 degrees. So this one takes a long time. It's a slower movement. It's slower, but some people find this to be easier. Or does the scissor mechanic of this one going to here and this one going to here for 90 degrees, which one is easier? Well, this is going to be the basketball mechanic that I just discussed. And this one is going to be the skizzers mechanics, okay? Does that make sense? So they're both super useful. They both have their pros and cons, but that's essentially kind of the math of like getting to 90 degrees. Now let's just watch a little bit more of this and then we'll get into some other questions. So if you have questions, pop them in the chat.
Now, as I do this, I want to keep my lead shoulder pointed straight downhill. Notice that my legs are doing the work, not my shoulder. Most people tend to do this. Well, now guess what? I've messed up my shoulder positioning. So I'll keep my shoulder down the fall line, a little bit of a hop, come back. Did you know that the majority of goggle
Oh, let's go. Big shout out to my own goggle company. If you're interested in buying goggles, look at this. We got goggles. Look at these. These are so sick. I'm going to mute it, but like, look at this. We got goggles. We got magnetic goggles. We got all sorts of stuff. So yeah, check that one out. We got goggles. Check them out. Big shout out to today's sponsor. Let's go.
with when it comes to board sides is being on an edge. Now,
we're going to skip this part. You can always come back and watch this. Now,
10 times easier, and because it can be very sketchy, 75% of the box. Now, the beautiful part of use the sit, not having to 100% commit.
Notice how much I'm riding 50-50. I'm in a strong, solid, balanced position. Knees are bent.
To the jump, and
now I'm starting to rotate.
Going sideways when we're
90 degrees, which we talked about. Lead, shoulder, eyes. Pretty solid board side
We're
position.
not familiar with those body positions. So our goal
Get off the box, then I'm going to be able to rotate. Sorry if it's confusing with the audio, my bad.
is to go 75% and then either use the pivot movement or use the scissor movement to get our board to go sideways. Or scissor movement higher up on the box. Now, why that is
Notice how early I did that compared to the one before. It's now I'm having to be in this body position for longer, which really allows me to trust that body position.
is amazing is because we can get into the of our body positions, but more important to get into the board side.
I'm going to mute that up and then we're going to move. Oh, here we go. So we're going to watch this one. Notice how quick I got into that. Notice that I didn't jump and land in 90, but rather I landed and immediately got into that board slide, which is the greatest step before actually jumping, because jumping can actually cause some problems. Here's a jump. Oh, look at that. That guy's boosting. Now watch this jump. Now I rotate and land. Look how much forces are in that. You got all the snow flinging up and flattening down. You got me just absolutely going down, and you can see that my board is like bending and flexing and ripping and rocking. So that's why I don't want you to do that right away, because you got to be comfortable. But guess what? I'm already back into the body position that I absolutely know, own, trust, and love. And then you just ride. Now guess what? Notice that I rode at 90 through the entire duration of the box. Now I am catching air. That's when I turn the board that 90 degrees to come back to the way. Back. Does that make sense? So that's what I would do. That's like, boom, that's the board slide. And then you're going to be able to do like other cool tricks, board slide, little 270 out. Frick, I love that board. I might start riding that. Ride it, do that, and then I added some B-roll in the back. So if you're interested in that video specifically, that video is really good. It's extremely underrated. I posted it actually in the summer. So it's called Best Board Slide Video on the Internet, How to Board Slide a Snowboard. I should republish that, but that one is pretty freaking good. Okay, moving on to some more quiggity questions. Okay. Tips for anybody getting back into snowboarding after 10 years of break. Also had a torn meniscus a couple years ago and a surgery to fix a herniated disc. 3 things I would do. 1, if you can find somebody to go with, that's way more fun. 2, if you could take a lesson, take a lesson. Now, if you do a group lesson, it's going to be a lot more affordable, or do a private lesson. But when you do a lesson, the beautiful thing about that is you're going to be able to have somebody be like, hey, great job. What about this? What about that? Because if you go by yourself, it could be great. Also, you could crash, or you could, I'm lost, or I don't feel comfortable, or this isn't fun. But if you have people who are like support you, they have your back, like that's such a better experience, right? You're going to prom with a date versus prom alone. It's a completely different experience. Because I'm going to be that guy. I did have a date at prom, but imagine you don't have a date at prom, you're there and you're like, it's just different, right? Could it be fun? Yes. Could it be not as fun? Yes, right? So that's what I would do. Number one, go with somebody / take a lesson. Number two, set expectations. I'm just here to take my time, have fun. Great. As long as you take time, have fun, it's going to be great. And then number three is just be aware of your body may be fatigued, may be out of shape in terms of snowboard shape. It may be just not used to it. Because, like, realistically, you could go to the gym for 300 days in a row, go snowboarding, and I guarantee you're still going to be sore the next day. Guaranteed your body's not going to last as long as you would expect because you're not in, quote unquote, like fight shape. You're not in snowboard shape because your ankles move and the ankles fatigue, and it's hard to replicate that in the gym. You're handling forces and different stuff. I would definitely say, what? Hold on. Did we just get a freaking, did I do this? Hold on real quick. Hold on. Hold the noise. Okay. Is this right? Okay. All right. We're good. My bad. Freaking out here, boys, girls, snowboarders. That's what I would do. Go have fun. Have fun. I hope you have the sickest day ever. How? That is a funny question. Is this playing in the background? No, okay, good. How do I ditch the losers that don't want to get better and they slow me down? Two options. One, you getting better could be you riding switch ollies, switch carving, switch trees, switch moguls, switch. Extremely challenging. Ride the chairlift switch. So if you still like those dudes and they're fun and you like vibing with them but they ride slow, there's different ways that you could try to challenge yourself. You could definitely, oh yeah, I'll turn that up. Yo, is that audio better? The volume? Is that better? Turn up the audio just a little bit. So you could do that. You could just ride switch, and absolutely get better that way. The other thing is just like go mingle with people. Go ride the park. Park riders are pretty good at snowboarding. They like to ride fast, and you can go mingle with new people and get new friends. It's definitely an option. Chung, I appreciate you, dog. Jared, yo, Tommy. What it do? Quick question. If you got the time, best ways to work up to a board slide on rails. Just start on boxes and any other tips or tricks that you have that much love. Let's go, freaking Vermont. Let's see. Let's see. I would say honestly, like, when it comes to like getting on a box, let me see if I could draw this out for us because it's been fun utilizing this real quick. Let me swap this screen over here in a hot second. Boom. Okay, so I'm going to try to illustrate this the best that I can. So imagine this is a rail. You'll see in a second. And then we got the post, and then we got a jump. Let's actually do it like this. Okay, so this is going to be like as if we're looking down on the feature. Does that make sense? And then this rail theoretically would be like going, I did not draw it the way, but yeah. So you got like a tube. We got a massive tube. So theoretically, we got it when we're going on a box. If you're riding on a box, theoretically, you have like a box that looks like this. And then there's like the jump usually actually goes like this high. And a lot of times you can just ride on. Or this jump is actually plush with the box. So as you ride on, it's just like not even a rail, right? It's not even like a concern. But when you have a feature like this, I can't ride straight onto it because theoretically I'm going to run into the front of the feature, which you absolutely die. So you have to be able to go like this. You have to go from this side and you have to now land on top of the feature. And this could be like, yeah, one side, or you're going on this side and now you have to enter from this side. So when practicing this, the one thing that I would do is similar to the previous step of the box, is that when you do have a tube, let's just draw like another rail on this side. Let's just say your rail is like here, and there's like the tube. Okay, you could do something very similar where you like jump into the side of the rail, land, do a 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, and then start doing a board slide at the 25% left section. Start doing a board slide that way. You could do that same thing. What that's going to allow you to do is get on the feature, then slide sideways, build your confidence, and feel pretty good. Then you go from 50%, just the end, move that to, or sorry, from 20% left, then go to 50%, go to 75%, and do the same thing as we just did in that video, which is like you could get to 90% and just land and move into that board slide, if that makes sense. That's definitely going to be the option. Whoops. But at the end of the day, let's just imagine we have a snowboard. Let's draw like this. We have our bindings. We got our legs. We're going to make this perfect. Got our legs, and then the rest of the body is off the screen. This is just our lower legs, okay? Here's our, okay? The biggest thing we want to make sure we do on this board side is our belly button, which is like, let's just use this as our belly button, has to be directly over this feature, okay? Notice that if my belly button is over here, where is it? Over this side. Where are we going to go? We're actually going to fall off this way. Okay, let's say our belly button is on the left-hand side. Where is that? That means we're going to fall off to the left side. So it's extremely critical that when you're on boxes and rails, that you're literally, your belly button, representing this giant circle, is over the rail. Over the rail perfectly. At any point, if it goes off to the side, it's not going to be it. Okay, so that's how I would do that. Brad Bede, you might have already addressed this question, but do you recommend any specific gym exercises for snowboarding? I'm going for the first time in a few years in March. I think at the end of the day, if you could just be in like any kind of shape is going to be good, honestly. If you can start getting some squats, getting some ankle like toe raises, sounds weird, but in snowboarding, we lift up our toes a lot, especially on a heel side edge. So if you can be in this position and start working on just lifting up your toes and building the strength of your shin, and so you don't get shin splints, and the ankle work, that's going to be extremely good. Also, squats and any kind of jumping plyometric stuff is going to be great. I do have a couple workout programs on my Patreon. It's like $5 a month. You get one of the dopest. I should be charging you guys $100 for that program, and I might end up doing that. I might take it off Patreon because it's $5, but I might take it and just charge $100 for it. This is like literally insane. Procreate tip for you, Tom Bum. Draw a circle, hold down with the pencil, snap to a small circle, no jitters. Works with lines too. And it works with squares. And good shout out, dude. I appreciate you. You guys check this out. I've been like absolutely having a ball trying to draw some stickers. Not done yet, but I'm trying to draw some stickers. Check out these designs, these hoodie designs. If you could see these. So these are going to be for like our tech hoodies. These are just ones that I've messed with. I don't know if we're actually going to make this into production, but these are things that I was creating on Procreate. I like this one. This is actually a topo map of Peak 1 in Colorado. This is actually Peak 1, which you guys can barely see. There's lines in there. That sucks. It's too bright. You guys can't see that. I also came up with some other designs. This is like a tech hoodie, like my notorious tech hoodie. I made this one the other day. Might not come to market. This one's cool. Some more like low key one. Low splat. Low key. I thought this one was pretty cool the other day. This one, my wife loved this one. And then I still have, there's another one. Made an orange one like this, but I think I have another one. There's another one somewhere. There, that one's pretty sick too. I made that one. I made this one. That one's probably gonna blow out your eyeballs. That one with or without. That one could be crazy. Black. That one. That one's kind of cool. I like this one. I think that one's super interesting. Or just a classic, like classic one. Classic. I love this color so freaking much. That one. Just an orange. That one. This one could be good. Blue. It's like a tan. It's supposed to be more tan, but it looks yellowish, but it's more tan. That one. And then that's what we got. And I definitely, there's like all sorts of stuff here. Yeah, pretty cool, right? So, what else we got in here? Pretty interesting. So, we're working on like next year's design for tech hoodies. And then I have another designer who's designing like 30 of them. But I wanted to like literally just create some of my own. Because I think it would be cool if I had my own. It'd be so sick. I love your channel, bro. Thanks, Blog. I appreciate that. Jared, no worries, my dude. Let's go. Going snowboarding Saturday over here on the East Coast. Can't wait. Third time going. Let's go. That Hawaii boy. Hawaiian. Let's go. No way, dude. You got one of those hoodies? Let's go. Let's go. Recently, Chung recently was teaching some of my siblings to snowboard. One of them was struggling to get up on their heel edge while sitting down. It was slippery out there after putting the binding in. Tips for this. Definitely, like, you could teach them to go on their toes, which could do two things. One, it helps them get up, feel independent and confident. And two, it forces them to, like, have to make that turn to go to the heel side. So it could be, I've done that where I've, like, tricked in a very positively way. Teach somebody how to stand up on their toes, guide them to their heels, and then we do heel side stuff. But guess what? While I was guiding them to their heels, I had them make 10 heel side turns. And then in like an hour, when we're actually linking our turns, guess what? They've already practiced it 10 times without knowing it. So I could actually teach a skill now for the future. And then they're like feeling like a god when they were able to heel side turn. They're like, I have no idea why it's so easy. It's because I help your body understand how to do it. Kind of sick, right? Secondly, to get on their heel side edge, I like to think about getting my shoulders over the toe side edge as much as possible, and not necessarily so far over it where I'm going to catch an edge. But if I can get my shoulders, like for this dude, if this dude's sitting down, I need to fix this dude. My bad. This dude's like sitting down like this, right? But if I can get him to get his shoulders as over the toes as possible, it's going to help him stand up. That's kind of like the life hack that I would do. Arthur, you ride all year? Sometimes, honestly, I ride about, depending on the year, between 200 and 230 days a season, which is going to include from like October all the way through the end of May, and then go to my Mount Hood for another 20 days. And then I'll go, so I get like 200 days, like theoretically, realistically in Colorado. If you go from like opening day to end of day, you can get 200 days, sometimes 206 days. And then I'll go to Mount Hood and get another 20 days in, 220 days. Then I'll add another 5, 7, 10 days over at Big Snow, New Jersey, which is an indoor snow facility. I'll get another 5, 10 days there. So then all of a sudden I'm getting 225, 230 days pretty realistically. But riding and living in Colorado, you get 200 days. Rather, not easily, but easy. Jose, what's up, dog? Do you sell stickers? I'd love the logo on some of my gear. So, two options here. Two options. Don't worry. I'm not leaving forever. not to leaving forever. I do have some stickers that I have. I also have some of these. So one way that you could get some stickers. Look at the cute little logo. Fun fact, because you're part of the family and you're in the inside scoop, check this out. This is the logo. It's a mountain. And if I go like this, that's a T and that's a B. That's my name, Tommy Bennett. Mountain, TB. Most people don't know that's a TB. So if I go like that, look at that, TB. No, it's a mountain. Pretty cool, right? I like I'm a big fan of those like little like Easter egg things like that people don't know unless you know type thing. So now you know because you're that person who knows type thing. So that's gonna be number one. So like we will end up. I have a plan on making more stickers. I need to put them on the website. So I would hold off on that. The other option is if you do a donation, you have a chance to win a sticker on that thing back there. So if you donate like $1 or $1 million, then you get a spin to win. And part of the spin to win is you could win some stickers. And so then I would take down your address and send some stickers. Got some options. Hooded My Mountain Ski Bowl is so slept on. Ski Bowl at night, slept on. Ski Bowl rope tow, slept on. Ski Bowl, as long as they have snow, pretty incredible. 100%. W, what up, dog? Yes, I made the live. Yo, dude, I appreciate you coming in. Also, Pablo, any tips for approaching the park for the first time? Yes, check out this video. Yo, on the mountain, Justin? What? Dude, you savage, bro. Oh, never mind. No. I got a couple videos. This one's kind of short. We could check this one out real quick.
The terrain park, and this is definitely in today's video. I'm going to break down everything you need to know about the terrain park, and this is definitely geared to the person who's never been in the terrain park or the beginner who wants to enter and feels a little lost. So make sure you stay to the end because I got a whole bunch of secrets that's going to make snowboarding and riding park way more awesome. And I definitely recommend getting into the park because it's just literally the most fun thing you can ever do. With that said, some people are really nervous about the park because it's perceived as very dangerous. Yes, it can be dangerous if you're reckless or riding outside your skill level. So in this video, I'm definitely going to be diving into a couple tips and tricks on how to remain as safe as possible. But with snowboarding in general, there's always a chance you can get hurt. But this channel is about trying to make you as awesome as possible and not get hurt. So definitely subscribe because I'm going to be doing a whole bunch more videos to make you as awesome as possible. And on that note, we're about to get off the chairlift, so we got to go. Before we enter the park, I want to make sure
Can we just talk about how dramatic that was? You were not that close, bro.
that you're set up for success, safety, and the most amazing time. So we're going to go over a couple simple yet important prerequisites to going into the park. The very first thing we're going to do is point our board straight down the fall line, flat base without crashing, and then we're going to come to a stop. This is a good indication that you're ready for boxes/rails. 3, 2, 1. My goal is to go flat base. Notice in the snow that I'm not on a super hard edge, that I'm nice and flat, yet I'm able to be in a nice athletic stance. The second thing is,
I do like that. It's just really giving you the confidence. Can I go fast? And can I slam on the brakes?
pick up a little bit of speed, do our heel side and our toe side turns without crashing. Notice that my turns are a lot longer, that they're nice and smooth, and then I can still come to a complete stop, nice and controlled. This is a good...
One person, like I'm going to talk about this in a second, but a lot of beginners struggle with this elongated turn because they're used to like slamming on the brakes. But notice that I'm like long turn, then slam on the brakes. Having that differentiation of being able to make longer turns versus not is actually extremely useful for the park, and you're going to see that in a second.
Nice and controlled. This is a good indication that you're going to be able to get to the feature safely. One is about riding the feature.
Right, so notice that I went into the feature. Granted, this is a big feature. I went into it, long turn. So can you even do a long turn? Probably a good place to start, right?
After that, the goal is to be able to get low, pop, and make sure that you're taking off on 2 feet. So we're going to point our board down the fall line, nice and strong. We're going to extend both legs. At the same time, bring our knees up and absorb. But notice that I'm able to take off on a flat base and land on a flat base.
Again, beginner riders struggle with being able to pop balanced and land in a balanced position, which is one of the biggest common things you'll have in a park when whether you're hitting jumps, boxes, rails, is you end up popping and you got to land controlled. So being able to test this before you go into the park is going to give you that added comfort, knowing, am I ready? / I'm ready.
After that, the next thing is, can we go into a little tail press, a little nose press? Notice that I was able to do the nose press, tail press without falling, without crashing. Pretty freaking awesome. Also, check out the live streams every single Tuesday if you have any questions.
Hi, live streams. Awkward.
Questions, you can jump right in, ask me questions, I can answer your questions to your specific needs. What's up, my dudes? Today's video is actually sponsored by my goggle company. They go here, this can last, well as long last.
By the way, these goggles were intentionally made clear lenses for big snow specifically, because I'm selfish and want lenses for low light situations. Yeah, I have them on sale right now. You get a goggle with 2 lenses. Pretty stoked on them. Magnetic. They look good. They're fresh. They're fire.
Goggles is deciding which color you want, so head over to shopbenetek.com. You need to know about hitting a box for the first time. Go. So next we're gonna break down exactly everything you need to know about hitting a box for the first time. What about like awkwardly camera shy? And I just froze and went around the bowl wheel.
A lot of people are so camera shy. It's so funny. I would rather talk to a camera than a human being.
So that when you first go into a park, you're always going to see these orange signs with a bunch of awesome information like park smart style, as well as know the code and a couple other useful information. And before you actually go ride the park for the very first time, I definitely recommend that you scope out the park so you know what features are there. I'm going to guide you through your very first time hitting a box. Now, I highly recommend that you watch some people as they go in so you can just understand what the feature is, as well as how to hit it / what is the speed, or some good indications of body position. Another good thing that I like to teach is you want to set yourself up flat base and ready for the feature 3 board lengths ahead. That also could mean that you need to start a little bit lower or go slow. And then once you're riding into the feature, keep your eyes at the end of the feature. It's just going to help you be in a better body position. Next, it is extremely critical that you stay flat base. A good way to think about it is your belly button is staying in the center of your board. Your belly button is not going over your toes, going over your heels. You're staying nice and centered, and that's going to allow you to stay flat base on the feature. If you're leaning back, leaning forward, it's not awesome. Once you're on the box, you cannot slow down. You need to trust the process, go through the duration of the box, and then once you're back on snow, then you can slow down. And then as you ride off, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're keeping your body position nice and strong as you exit, absorb the impact of getting off of the box, ride a couple board lengths, then slow yourself down. We're gonna go hit this again and move on. Now, when it comes to the jump, things are very similar, but one thing I wanted to point out is that you're gonna need a lot more speed, so you gotta make sure you're comfortable doing your S turns. Also, you have the lip, which is gonna be your takeoff, and the lip of the jump. Then you also got the deck of the jump, which is gonna be just before the knuckle. The knuckle is essentially the part where it goes from flat to transition, and then the goal is to land on the backside of the transition. I usually think about half a board length to a board length past the knuckle is traditionally your sweet spot. That's what we're looking for. And a couple fun, helpful tips is when you're hitting the jump, I definitely recommend that you pop with both feet at the same time. As you're in the air, bring your knees up so that you're in a nice, compact, yet balanced position. Then after that, I recommend that you absorb the impact in the landing so that A, it's easier on your knees, your body, B, that you can land it, and C, that as soon as you land, you're gonna have more control. So when it comes to jumps, definitely follow that and have fun. Find a feature within your ability level and try to progress your riding by going a little bit higher or a little bit further. Also, you can add a grab. Definitely follow that. If you're looking for a full breakdown on how to hit jumps,
check out my Tubular channel. So that's a nice little like idea of getting into the park. Park can be extremely fun. Definitely do that. Yo, Uncle, what up, dog? Park smart and helmet saves lives. Also, sick thumbnail. I appreciate that. I'm, ah, thumbnails. Nick, what's up, dog? Okay. Hopefully you're still here. You think, is Nick still here? Let's find out. You are. What's up, dog? Okay. So, okay, one thing. Okay, Nick is still here. Let's go. All right, so, Nick was talking about how he broke his wrist and he's been going to be out for a while. Missed a lot of riding. What, did you end up having surgery? Or was it just a cast type thing? It's a challenge because, like, with wrists, you, like, don't want to fall again. And I'm not saying to do this. Do I even want to say this? Probably not. Probably not. But I would say that, like, I've definitely, like, I had 2 hip surgeries. In the very first hip surgery, I went back to snow definitely a little early, and absolutely did not help my freaking hip. So, like, at the end of the day, like, no surgery, just cast. How bad is it? And I'm not. You're an adult. You can make your own decisions. I'm gonna tell you a story. So this story is just a story. I broke my wrist one time at 10 o'clock in the morning because I crashed, fell, trying to 540. It was firm. Put my hand down, broke my wrist. Boom. Not stoked, right? And I ended up being, like, so pained, so miserable, just not stoked at all. Rode all day because, like, I'm not going to waste a day of snowboarding. When I was younger, I rode 40, 50 days a year, which meant I rode every weekend, but I'm only riding weekends, right? And car wreck, what up, dog? So then, like, I rode all day, and then my dad picks me up at, like, my mom and dad pick me up at, like, 4:15, 4:30. The resort closed at 4, but I would always go up for another run and come back down. And then my parents would pick me up, so I'd pick me up, and I'm, like, sitting there holding my wrist. I get in the car, and I'm like, Mom. It's my mom or dad. I think it might have been mom. I think it was my mom. And I was like, Mom, can we go to the hospital? She's like, why? I was like, I think I broke my wrist. She's like, what? And, like, look at him. It's all broken. They put a cast on it, and I went snowboarding the next day. I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm just saying that's what I would do. But at the end of the day, it's like you got to make adult decisions, meaning, like, if you fall, is it worth the repercussions? My hip, I went, my doctor said, you're good to go. You can go ride. And I went, and I probably went too hard, and I was miserable the rest of the season. So that was pretty dumb. And at the end of the day, it's like you got to figure out, like, the right decisions and stuff. And I know that's, like, not really good advice, but you got to, like, heal up, and then you're not going to be in pain for long. I definitely, like, was in pain for a long time. I still actually have, like, you can't tell, let's do, like, here's, like, a normal wrist flexion. My normal wrist goes back, like, almost 90 degrees. Almost, right? This one, like, that's how bad that is. That's how bad that is. So I actually have to get wrist surgery because my wrist is, like, I had surgery here. And you can't really tell, but there's, like, a Z. Kind of tell. I had surgery. So I have to get another surgery because this bone's, like, dead and it's, like, doesn't work, so it's, like, really hard. Like if I had to do push-ups, I have to do push-ups, like, on my fist, and that's it. Like, you got to figure out, like, are you worth being in pain for a long time? No, take a little bit of time off. Like, yeah. Car wreck, what up, dog? Thank you, Tommy, for being cool. Snowboarder that inspires me to be better. Let's go. You know, my Instagram, my tag is, like, here to inspire, not impress. And I, like, wrote it in, like, a weird emotional thing. I was, like, dealing with some people online, like, just being kind of, like, lame. And I was like, why do I do this? And I kind of, like, sat there for a second and thought about it. And I was like, at the end of the day, I am trying to inspire people. I'm not here to impress you. If I do a backside 7, it's not because I'm better than you. It's because I want to show that you can do it too. And so I really love that statement. So, like, on the end of emails and stuff, I, like, write that. Went into the park in the indoor on my endeavor and got some strange looks, but boosted some jumps with it. Almost could see the birdhouse. Let's go, W, dude. That's sick. Yo, Vu with a freaking $100 banger. What? This guy is absolutely incredible.
Check out
Big
the
shout
link
out to Vu. And it's funny because I see this guy. He typed something. Hold on. I like too many windows up or not enough. Haven't really decided. So I saw Vu And I was like, yo, what's up, dude? Are you riding Keystone next Monday? Just want to say hi. LOL. Honestly, I don't really know. Okay, so last year I rode 200 and some odd days. I actually rode like I'm checking the weather. So last year I rode like 200 and some odd days. And this year I probably only have like 25, 30 days on hill. And it's in January. This is the least I've snowboarded in probably 20 years. Like, not even kidding. Next Monday, I might be. I don't know. It just depends on the weather, to be honest. If the weather's like sunny and sick, I'm probably gonna ride. If it's low key, windy and gnarly and nasty, I'm not gonna ride. If it's a powder day, I'm not riding. I don't ride powder days right now because I've had 2 hip surgeries. My hip hurts all the time, so I'm taking time off. Plus, I'm thinking about booking a trip to Europe. So I'm trying to like be very cautious on how I use my hip because like my hip hurts all the time. Like it looks like I ride and they're like, oh, you're having the greatest day ever. You look like you're killing it. I'm like, yeah, I might be killing it, but I'm in pain. People don't. With a broken wrist, you have a cast on. People know you're hurt. With a busted hip, they don't feel what I am going through. So it's kind of a dark road that I've kind of been going down, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yo, you're at Granby Ranch Resort. Dude, I've never been there. That sounds crazy. But big shout out to the boy for a absolute banger. $100 donation. You're a freaking GOD with the making it rain. Let's go. Arthur, last weekend I was asked what's most important snowboarding? I answered position. Yo, girl fell and serviceman asked me about how to help her. What's your answer if somebody asks? Interesting enough, with like a plate lift or like one of those like surface lifts, my biggest thing would be as you're standing there, engage your core and have your knees out. That's going to allow you to have lower body tension. So then your knees are out, your core is tight, like an isometric contraction, and then lead shoulder pointing where you're going. You're just in this nice position. As you grab it, just stay in that position where your knees are out, you're engaging your core, and that's going to help you go up. What ends up happening is people expect there to be added pressure as if you can lean back. Guess what? I lean back, I'm going to fall. But if I can just stay in a neutral position, engage my core, 10 times easier. It like works. I worked with this athlete, and I said that. I'm just like, just engage your core. And she's like, and it went up, and she's like, oh my God, I did it. And I was like, yeah, it's easy. If you do it right, it's easy. You're in the 100%. So yeah, we go. But sick, dude. Position, yes, I 100% agree with that. Let's go, Arthur. Let's go. Suggestions for those snowboard only a few days per season. Neck flip. Uh-oh, dude. Hope you're not landing on your neck. I would say show up early and ride all day. Like, enjoy, maximize it as much as you can. Get there like early, ride to the end because your days are limited. But by doing that, make sure you get really good sleep the night before and make sure you have snacks, nutrition, candy in your pocket so that you can just ride and you have energy. A lot of times you get hurt because you're getting tired, sloppy, uncoordinated. It's not sick. But if you're able to have some kind of energy source, it's going to make that experience a lot better. Number 2, you could just go for fun, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you're trying to get better, I would say stack up a couple videos, either saved on Instagram, here on YouTube, and go out there with an intention. Hey, I'm going to go ride switch for an hour. I'm going to go ride this chairlift switch. Because what's cool about that is, yes, you had fun, but you also feel productive. You feel like you did something. Like, yes, I accomplished something crazy, which is riding switch chairlift. I got on the chairlift switch, and I got off, and I did not die. Like, then you walk away with those limited mounted days feeling accomplished. So then it feels like you've gotten more value out of it than just like, yeah, I rode all day and it wasn't memorable. I rode all day, it was fun, but I kind of just took a lot of laps and rushed to the bottom. Actually, because I rode fast, I just stayed on a chairlift all day, right? It's those kind of things. But yeah, great question, dude. Justin, I can't ride away straight when I'm doing backboards. Keep coming off switch. Ooh, I got one for you. Or when I do land straight, I have to put the brakes on because I'm twisted. Yep. One of the biggest things that we were just talking about on the... What we were just talking about on the... I don't know why On the board side video, go back, rewind if you want to, but just to like quickly. Oh, I'm running out of battery. Not a big deal. Ideally, if you have your lead shoulder, let's just call this like our shoulders. If I have my lead shoulder, instead of being this way, I want to have my lead shoulder pointed down the hill like this. But my board might be sideways, but my lead shoulder's pointed to the end of the feature. By being in this position, you're going to have this counter rotation, okay? You're going to have this counter rotation here. Now, the goal is, if I have my lead shoulder pointed at the end of the feature, that's going to help me come out my dominant direction. Now, I always like to say, wherever my lead shoulders are, call this my shoulders for now, my lead shoulders pointed in this direction, my board can be separated, but once I'm now out of the board slide, wherever my shoulders are, my lower body wants to follow, okay? So as we go here, and my legs are twisted, but my shoulders here, guess what? My lower body wants to match back up. What could be happening is you're trying to get to 90 degrees. I'll show you real quick. Check this out. You're trying to get your board from this position to this position, which is going to be 90 degrees, right? But you're doing that in a way where you're throwing your shoulder like this. Watch. Throw 90 degrees. Guess what? I've created so much rotational momentum that now my body, and if I'm sitting in this chair and I throw, where's my body want to go? Switch out because I threw with my shoulder. But rather, the way that I love to talk about it is more through the mechanics of this scissor mechanic, which means if I have like, this is just going to be representing a boot. Okay, that's like our boot. That's going to be like our boot slash binding. This is going to be our other boot slash binding. Look at that, making circles, okay? If this foot goes here, goes the X spot, that's going to be 90 degrees. We just discussed this. Go here, this back foot, so this is the lead foot. Okay, this foot goes back, and then this back foot goes forward here to this X. Now we've created 90 degrees. So what that's going to look like is my feet are going to now just go like this. So if I were to do this in real life, here's my lead shoulder pointed down the hill. Watch my legs. 90 degrees, where's my rotational momentum? There really isn't any because where's my shoulder? Now, it's easy to come back, but you're going like this. Now I'm trying to fight it, but my momentum's going. That's hard. So I like the idea of being able to scissor legs. Boom, board side. Just like that. That's what I would do. That's absolutely, that's what I would do. Does that make sense? Neck flip says, what's wrong with the hip? So I had a detached and torn labrum for like 10, probably like 7 years before I ever had. So imagine this is like your hip. This is like your femur. It's going to be okay. Then you have your hip socket, which goes like this. And that goes to like the top of your leg. There's this thing in here that's called the labrum. And it's like a bushing that sits between the hip socket. Okay. So now when I jump or land, this labrum essentially is a bushing where it's going to like absorb that impact. Well, the problem is this thing circles all the way around for all 360 degrees. Well, the problem is from right here to right here, we're going to go like this. I tore all of this off the bone. So then it ripped off the bone. And then what they had to go do is add a bunch of screws. 1 screw, 2 screw, 3 screws, and then 4 screws, okay? So that's what the first surgery. That was the first surgery, is they put that back on. And then the labrum, I also had this thing right here, like on my hip. It had like a notch right here. So then they had to go in with the drill and they had to like smooth that out. So they erased that essentially. That was surgery number 1. So they did all that work. Well, there's this thing that's called your capsule. We should find a green. There's a capsule. Now, the capsule is like all the other stuff that's actually holding your leg into the socket. So imagine there's all this like tissue that's holding it on. So this would go around your whole leg. So this is holding on. Here was the problem. I'm going to add another layer so you can see this. I had this screw right here got attached to the labrum, and guess what? It tore the labrum again. I tore it for the second time because it actually got attached. And the moment I moved my leg, it went like this. Ripped it off the bone again. So now I had to go back in for a second time. What kind of colors would you? They had to cut this, separate those. So they had to cut that out. And then they had to add another screw back in. So then I've had surgeries to fix all that. You guys like my drawings? Isn't it beautiful? Cruz. Just, I'm not going to do it, but that sounds pretty funny. But does that make sense? So then I've had like all this work done on my hip, and then there's like this, there's like, but then like my pain, I have like constant pain. Let's go. I don't know what other color we should use. Yeah, that's fun. So then I constantly have like pain that sits right here. That's like a stabbing pain. So it's not quite in the hip, but it's not quite in like the leg. It's not quite in like, you know, the upper region of like the belly button or the abdomen. So I have this pain that sits right here constantly, and that hurts. Every day. That was weird. Okay, we're not doing that. That was so awkward. Every day. Every day. My hip freaking hurts, okay? That hurts so much every day. And that's where it's like, then I went to the doctor, and they're like, oh, well, it could be that there's this spot in your hip right here. There's like this weird spot right here that could be an issue. So they're like, oh, we might have to do another surgery, which would be the third time. Then they're like, or it could be a sports hernia, or it could be my lower back, which I've already broke. So I was like, do you actually know what it is? They're like, we don't. It could be this, this, or this. And I'm like, guys, are you kidding me right now? So that's my labrum. That's my torn labrum. Screws. That's what my hip looks like. And that sucks. That's kind of what I deal with. Feels like your glutes in Charlie Horse. Lower back, almost like... No, not at all, Uncle. Like the sciatic nerve. Not at all. Not at all. They're like, oh, it could be your lower back because your back is really flat and it's supposed to be rounded or something. And I'm like, yeah, but it is what it is. And so it's like a pain that's like just like in the groin area that just hurts every day. And so then when I go to like jump on a rail, that hurts. It's like the hip flexor, like hip flexors. Every time you're like using a hip flexor, like bring my legs up, that's what hurt. Cruz, 100%, 100%, 100%. So I reached out to this stem cell doctor down in Texas. I haven't heard back. I don't know. I haven't heard back yet. I was hoping to get an answer because I would love to have I was hoping to get an answer so I can maybe get some like stem cell stuff done, and if it actually works. And then I was taking these patches that are supposed to like do some healing. I've tried like some other stuff, like nothing really freaking works, dude. The other thing, practicing medicine. Okay, here's what drives me nuts about the medical field from firsthand experience. When you get an answer from a doctor and you go see another doctor, what is that called? That is called getting a second opinion, which means that it was an opinion in the first place, an opinion in the second place, an opinion in the third place. So it's all opinions. It's just what they think. Now, granted, there's a lot of science, a lot of information, but it's also business. Also, more surgeries, more money. Also, I'm just trying to feel good, right? So like, obviously, objectively, I had issues with torn labrum. Then the labrum problem. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, why are we still having problems? Opinion is a key word. Exactly. Jen! What up, Jen? Trad, what up, what up, what up? How you doing? Let's see. Hopefully you're doing good. How is everything? But yeah, exactly. It's an opinion is a key word. Like when you come to like your body and everything, it's like it is an opinion. It's not like this is factual. As much as they want you to make it feel like it's factual, it's really not. It's really not at all, which is super freaking annoying. Let's go. Okay. Let's see. Due diligence. Just drink more. Yeah, right. Pop it back into place. Oh my gosh, dude, I would get wrecked. I'm such a lightweight. I probably drink. Like, I have nothing against drinking. It's just not something I really do. Oh, interesting. I just had an idea. Sorry, I just had an idea. But it's like I don't do much drinking anyways, right? And so when it comes to like drinking or whatnot, I've like it's not something that I enjoy, but I drink like maybe like once every like 2 to 3 years. No, sorry. I probably drink like once or twice a year. Like total, right? So then when I'm like drinking, I am a freaking lightweight is the word that I'm looking for. Yeah, I don't drink and ride. No. I'm too like of a control freak to do that. All right, we're going to get into a quick little video. Let's see this. There might be a guest in here that might need to be deleted and removed because this video is like 5 years old. What's up? You guys heard that? This used to be like my old intro. This video's old.
What's up, guys? Tommy Bennett here.
Why we're watching this is we got our boy Hooked Outdoors. Any tips on how to get better at doing butters?
And today
we're gonna watch a little bit of this video. Today we're gonna butter and spin on your snowboard, and I'm gonna stop it. If you have any questions specifically, let me know. I'll pop in here. Also, Smoke, I'm gonna get you your question next.
I'm gonna teach you guys how to do butters. So let's get right into it.
Butters.
All right, guys.
That was like my favorite snowboard I've ever had. And then the company absolutely tried to take advantage of me. And the guy was an absolute trash can. And I ended up leaving. And then come to find out, that guy left not too long later. And Angry Snowboarder was mentioning that I should get my own, maybe do like 50 BENETEK boards, but get a board that's like my own board, BENETEK. And I was like, that's not a bad idea. Even though I rock a lot of BENETEK stuff already, I'm thinking that might be a little overdone, but it'd be cool to have like a BENETEK board. And no, it's not a pro model. It would just be like my own board that I love, but I could like buy like 50 of them, which could be really good. Cool. Yo, John, will you just retype that question? Sorry for missing it, my dude.
So simply, let's just define what a butter is. A butter is a move where you're able to manual your snowboard or bring the nose of the tail up in the sky and then do some really cool spin variations.
I agree with that. So essentially you're trying to do a press with the rotation is what a butter is.
So many different variations that you can do, and I'm gonna break down a couple simple ones, but more importantly, overall, I'm gonna break down the body movements so that we can be creative, so I can lead you to being super creative and doing what you want. So when you're doing the butter, it's really important that you are shifting your shoulders and your hip towards the end of your snowboard, and I'm gonna do it right now. So I'm gonna take my hips, and I'm gonna start to sink back, and you're gonna notice that my belly button is stacked over my binding. Now,
that is going to be absolutely critical, and I would definitely recommend anytime you're doing butters is you're trying to get your belly button as far over the binding as possible, as much as you need. What I mean by that is like maybe your board's really soft, you don't have to go as far. If your board's really stiff, you're going to have to go that belly button further outside that binding. So instead of being directly over the binding, my belly button might have to be like right here or here. Obviously, I'm not going to be out here because I'm going to catch an edge and die. But right here, yeah.
Now, if you want to make this super high and intense, get your belly button to go further out towards the tail.
And you can see if we can pause this real quick. How far do I need to go to get that board to actually get off the snow? That's right there. Notice that I have to get my belly button right where the zipper is, aligned pretty much right here. And if I want to get more, then I'm going to get that belly button even more. So that's where how flexible this board is. I actually really miss this snowboard. Dang, I might cry. Henry! With a $20 donation. No, let's go! You're a freaking GOD. By the way, if you guys do donate, you get a chance to spin this thing. And it says, like the stream. I apologize for the mess. Apologize. I got a really fun, exciting video coming up. Thank you so much for the $20 donation. I appreciate it. Check out this little, you guys are probably wondering what the box was. So this thing is supposed to light up. I think the battery died, honestly. It's supposed to light up and be like a little light box, and then you can charge it. It's like a battery pack and stuff. I'm doing a deal with this company. They're coming out with this really high-tech roof box, and you actually can use your fingerprint to unlock the roof box instead of having a key. How sick is that? How sick is that? How sick is that? So yeah, don't mind the box in the background. But appreciate the $20 donation. Let's go, dude. Freaking legend right here. Hey, next time you're in Jersey, let me know. We'll all meet up. Dude, I appreciate that. I definitely need to do a better job about doing meetups and maybe a ride along. I think that could be really cool. The people that may have been around a little bit, I'm very social on a camera, social amongst my friends. When it comes to new people, I just get really nervous. I get really insecure, and I'm like, oh my god, do they think I'm cool? Do they think I'm lame? So then I end up being pretty reserved when it comes to doing meetups and stuff, and that's definitely something that I need to do more of. I tend to not do them just out of my own insecurity. So doing a meetup group ride would be really cool to do something like that. I think that'd be super fun. So when it comes to doing butters, to continue that conversation, we also had a great question from our boy Bo Buff. What up, dog? How much are you pulling with that front leg? I would say this front leg, I'm pulling up nothing. Literally nothing. And the reason is because for me to add more flex to the snowboard by pulling the leg up, that is such a weak position with that leg and the muscles. It's just not a strong thing. Therefore, it's not really sustainable. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So by pulling that leg up, it's really hard. So instead of pulling that leg up, I'd rather you just lean over, if that makes sense. Yeah, Uncle Fatty, I agree with that. Maybe 5%. Because it's such a weak muscle that it's going to get fatigued. It's not going to be sustainable. It's going to be really hard. I'm not really a big fan of that, to be honest. Can you bomb a black run without being on the side all the time? You can do this thing called zipper line, and yeah, you could definitely do it. You can get really good at it. Your belly button theories are so crucial. Dude, I agree. I think it's one of those things, it's such an easy concept to understand. Because there's a lot of nerd when it comes to snowboarding, but if people don't understand what you're saying, then it doesn't freaking matter. You got to get that message across accurately and effectively. That's one big thing that I kind of have a hard time with. Some people in the educational space that are just trying to be educational but have absolutely zero background, and they're telling people how to do stuff that's, if you literally follow their directions, it's going to be problematic. So it's you got to be accurate and you got to be able to convey information effectively. I think that's a big deal. Okay, who's streaming? What do you mean? I'm curious. I missed something in here for sure. course, agree with that. Thank you. Okay, what else we got in here? Okay. John, I bought my first snowboard boots and bindings, and I want to be the most prepared for the slopes when I go for my first season. Any tips on what I can do at home to with limited practice? Yeah, I got a couple ideas. One, definitely dial in your stance. If you go over here to the Tubular channel and you go to this dude's channel, Tommy Bennett, and you just type in over here, there's a search bar, and you just type in stance. I don't know why this is like so unproportional. I don't understand. If you just type in stance, you can watch this second video down. What's your angles? I would definitely watch this video. It's got a lot of good information. Check that video out. That's a heater. That's going to be number one. Other than that, I could also do like, I'm trying to think if this is the right word. You could practice some tricks at home like this. You could do jibbing. Practice at home. You could practice these tricks at home. And you could go to the gym. That's going to be pretty useful too. Yeah. Dude, let's go. New setup. That's freaking sick. That is freaking sick. Rock, what up, dog? Dude, you've been out here for a while. Years, bro. Years. What up, Tommy? Any tips for Wildcats? I got my first barrel roll because of you, and now trying to get my first Wildcat. I fell on my back pretty bad. My back. My back. Back flip. Back. Flip. Back flip. Let's see. Easy ways to backflip. Do this as soon as possible. Oh, okay. Is this a Wildcat? Oh, it's kind of a Wildcat. All right, so check this out. I guess I have to go full screen so you guys can see it. All right. So this is like one of the biggest differences between a barrel roll. So in this position, if I were to throw the trick, a barrel roll is my head essentially would go over my heel side. Just imagine I'm like flipping towards the direction of my tailbone. Okay. If I'm flipping in this direction, I'm going to be doing a barrel roll. Now a Wildcat is when I'm flipping over my tail, which is also behind. Does that make sense? So if I were to be barrel roll is like, woo. Wildcat is like, woo. So because we're snowboarding, we technically have like two backs kind of in essence, right? With our back, which is over the tail, that's what we're trying to accomplish. And that's what this example is going to be a Wildcat. Now, as we proceed forward, one thing that you're going to notice is this lead shoulder. The more I can leave this lead shoulder pointed or in line with the nose of the snowboard, the more that's going to become a Wildcat. So now, notice that I am a little tilted and a little rotated, and that's because my shoulder rotated a little bit, and then I was able to bring it back. So that is not a perfect Wildcat. It's more like my shoulder opened up. I'm going to just change this. My shoulder opened up just a little bit and flipped, but the goal is to be able to do like a reverse cartwheel. A cartwheel, that's the goal. So one thing that really helps me is as I flip, I'm trying to just spot over my like top of my forehead, like or the corner of my eye, not looking back. Because notice what happens when I look back, it makes my shoulder want to rotate. So I want to go more like this. This is the movement. Another thing that you can do is take your back hand and go behind your back of your knee, or lead hand behind the back of your knee. It's going to allow you to stay in this plane. Because if I try to do my back hand to the back of my leg, but my shoulder's open, it's going to be really hard. I would miss that. So you can get your back hand to the back of your kneecap. Will be super useful. I'm trying to see. I have like a.
Today, I'm going to teach you how to carve your... In today's video, I'm going to...
Dude, bro. Of course it would stutter on us. Are you kidding me? I just saw it absolutely like stutter. Sleep timer, that's new. Custom feedback, 25%. And then notice that I'm like just pass upside down, I'm already looking at the landing and I know exactly how high I'm in the air. Keep my knees up, knees up, knees up, because I felt like I needed a little bit more air time, so that's why I did that. Kaz, what up? Get hooked outdoors. Let's go, dude. No worries. Sorry, I said this earlier. Any tips for hitting my first ride on tube? I can do skinny boxes fairly well. Oh, that's great, TTSD. That's great, dude. That's freaking sick. Tubulars, tubes. Let's actually go here. I'm gonna see if I can find a tubular real quick that we could look at. We could possibly break down. Shorts. Underflip. That was this video. That's not it. There's a video that I posted. I posted a video the other day, but I added this. Was it this? Oh, it is. Cool. Here's this video, but we're just gonna watch it for the end. And I think we're on slow motion. No! Slow down. I don't even know if I can slow it down. Okay, regardless, tubes for the first time. This is going to be a tube. Now, the biggest thing that you want to make sure you do is you get your belly button over the feature. Notice that I'm in this athletic position. My knees are bent. My board is flat. My eyes are looking at the end of the rail. Now, that's going to be regardless if you're in a box, you're on a rail, okay? Your eyes are at the end of the rail. My belly button is stacked directly over this feature. Okay, so now as I'm directly over this feature, that's going to allow me to be as balanced as possible, give me the best chance. Knees are bent. Now, to enter this rail, this might be a little bit hard to like perfectly stop it. So I am going to be entering from the side, and you said you're going to ride on. Great. Ride on, even better. I'm going to finish this point and then ride on even better. Notice that I'm entering from the side, and I'm lifting up my toes just a little bit. Right there. Toes lifted up, and then I'm flattening out, and then I'm getting balanced. Now, when you're riding on a tube for the first time, holy cow, is that going to be very doable? 3 tips for riding on for the very first time. 1, make sure you're lined up. Here's the tube. Oh, I didn't know that did that. Here's the tube. If I'm coming in at weird angles and making all these micro turns, then chances are I'm going to struggle here. So I like to tell my campers and the people I work with, including you, I'm telling you because I work with you right now, I want to make sure that I'm set up perfectly straight for the entrance of this feature 2 board lengths prior. So 1 board length, 2 board lengths. From this point, I should just be committed going straight on. I should not make any micro adjustments, heel, toe side turns within that stretch. As you become better and more confident, you can take that from 2 board lengths to 1. But for now, line up, 2 board lengths, no changes, boom. Tip number 2, as you're on it, absorb that little impact. If it's a ride on, or you're catching a baby bit of air, just regardless, make sure as you're on it, your knees are bent so that you're in an athletic position, which is going to allow you to be balanced. Tip number 3, keep your eyes, lead, shoulder, hip, and nose. So pretty much everything pointed at the end of the rail. If you're pointed at the end of the rail, it's going to be fine. If your lead shoulder up here, let's just call this the bottom part of my body, my lead shoulder. If my lead shoulder is pointed over there, guess where I'm going to go? I'm going to go over there. If my lead shoulder is pointed over there, guess where I'm going to go? My lead shoulder, hip, and board are all pointed at the end of the rail. Totally fine. You follow those 3 steps, set up early, bend your knees, look at the end of the rail, boom. Absolutely going to crush that. That's going to be great. You're going to absolutely have the best time ever. Wyatt, does that make sense too? You asked that. You asked that as well. Does that make sense? Thank you so much. Thanks for the tips. Let's go, Zorock. What up, dog? Skinny boxes are harder. Skinny boxes are harder than round rails in their own right. It's definitely different. I definitely agree with that. What's cool about a round rail, why they're so ideal, as we go back to this, I'm able to land on the side of the feature. Notice that my toes are up. If I was on a flat box, okay? If I was on a flat box and my toes were up, where would I be? I would slip out, crash, and die, right? But if I have my toes up and it's a round feature, guess where I am? I'm not actually slipping up. I'm actually flat on the feature, but that flat part happens to be on a round rail. And then as I roll, I'm always flat, flat, flat. I have a less likelihood of slipping out. Now, granted, if I'm on the top of the feature and my heels are up here, yeah, I'm going to slip out. But because I hit the side of the rail, I'm flat, roll, flat. And big shout out to Jose! Let's go with the $5 gifted membership. Say what's up. Say thanks to the boy. We got EJ, Caleb, Scott, Z, and Andrew with the new membership to the live stream. That also means you get little box chats and some cool little benefits. Dude, yo, Jose with the freaking gift. I appreciate you, Jose. Let's go, dude. And you can see that little icon next to Jose's name. It's actually TB, but BENETEK initial. That means he's been in the game. He's been like a member for like 2 years. Maybe like 36 months. It's been 3 or 4 years, maybe 5. Holy cow. Apparently you need to have gifted enabled. I think that's like a weird thing that YouTube does, is you have to do that. Yeah, I think it's weird. John says we have had a lot of snow for the last week, and I think it's about time to start slowing down, though. Michigan weather varies so much. Yeah, that's definitely weird for sure. Yo, 57 months! What? An absolute freaking legend here at, I don't know what to call it. What should we call ourselves? The gang? The club? The fam? Club BENETEK? Club Tech? Club? You guys want to hear like an inside secret because you're still here? I've trying to find, I think I might have a lead on making a proprietary waterproof material. But I do a bunch of research, get a bunch of scientists to work, a bunch of nerds to like formulate something for me, which I'm really excited about. We got some options. Smoke! Dude, smoke? Are you kidding me, bro? Smoke. I'm gonna call it out right now. I dropped the ball. I apologize. Not a new snowboarder, but I am new to buying gear for it. I'm 5'7" and I ride a 138. I love the size, but I'm not a freestyle rider. Anything I just bind and go, you find and go. Recently bought some new bindings. At the end of the day, what I really suggest when it comes to buying gear at all is you want your gear to enhance your experience or enhance the application that you're riding. Now, the application could be park, which it sounds like you're not. Could be big mountain. It could be groomers. It could be riding fast. It could be carving. You are trying to find gear that's going to elevate that experience. Now, as a general rule of thumb, there's some stuff that is going to help or hinder. Now, one is just going to be the stiffness or softness of your board. If you like to ride fast, if you like to carve, you like something that needs a bit more stability, you want something that's a stiffer board. I personally ride a bit of a stiffer board because I like jumping. I like going fast, I like jumping, I like carving, I like being able to into like features, and I have a board that's going to be able to handle that. Now, if you're not really a park rider and you're like, I want to ride moguls, but I want to ride them fast, you're going to need a different board. But if you want to just do butter tricks and you want to just play around, then you want a different board. Or you want something that's going to be playful, easy to turn, manipulative in turns, and you may want something a little bit softer. So that's what I would say. And then you also got to pair that with a complementary boots and binding that are going to also elevate that. Now, I personally ride a really stiff board, which makes you think I ride stiff boots. And I actually don't. I ride pretty soft bindings and really soft boots because I want my body to be able to maneuver and have the range of motion. And my board is the stabilization and my body's the agility. But I need those to connect appropriately, so through the bindings and the boots, I have a softer setup. Does that make sense? Get stiff everything. You're welcome. Sick. So you got some supermatics coming in, which is cool too. Ride them. Build the muscle. Stiff can do anything. I'm a big fan of like stiff riding. Or sorry, not stiff riding. Stiffer setups, just because I like to be powerful. Even though right now I feel like I'm like got a little thicker, feeling a little weak, feeling like just like a potato. But I still like to try to like have power and like authority within my riding, if that makes sense. My Google. What up, dog? The Benno Bunch. Oh, interesting. We gotta find like a good like, yeah, you know what I mean? John says, if I ever buy new goggles, I'm 100% getting your magnetic goggles, Tommy. They look awesome, and I like how they fit right with your helmet. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked on them. Like I took 3 years to develop those goggles. I'm using Zeiss lenses. I'm using like the good stuff. I'm really, really pumped on them. I just wish more people got in them. And goggles have been a really challenging play, but I've been so pumped on them. I ride my blue lenses every day. If it's low light, if it's not, I wore them in Japan. I love my goggles. 100% super stoked on them. And I appreciate you wanting to support my dude. Wyatt, I started snowboarding this season and have been about 5 to 6 times. I've gotten comfortable to the point where I want to hit more jumps and rails. Is this good so far? You're probably way further along than most people. Usually you take about 3 days just to link turns and ride a chairlift. That's average progression for a snowboarder. So if you're comfortable hitting like small park, that's great. Definitely work on feeling comfortable, feeling confident, being able to land and take off and stay in control. And dude, you're freaking crushing it. That's good. I'm looking into a new board and I'm not sure. I like the 138, but I'm also like 200 pounds. This really matter. Smoking hot. RC, at like a 5'7", 200 pounds, most people your size would be riding a 154 minimum. If you're on a 138 centimeter board, that's really small, which is going to limit your ability to go fast, limit your ability to catch air, limit your ability to like maybe hit cliffs or ride some steeper terrain. Yeah, it might feel like you're able to turn fast, but it's going to limit your progression because of that lack of stability. I would not. Here's the secret, dude. To be honest, the secret is to not buy a new board. The secret is to demo a board first. What you can do, and most shops allow this. If they don't, go to a new shop. Most shops allow you to demo a board. Now it's gonna cost money, and it's gonna cost money. Hear me out. It might cost you $50, but wait, there's more. $50, you get to go ride a board, and you're going to instantly know within 1 to 3 runs if you like the board or not. Okay? 1 to 3 runs, you're going to ride it, you're going to find out, and you're going to be like, right? Then, if you love that board, you can put that $50 towards the purchase of that board. So if the board's $500, you put $50 down to go demo it, then that $50 goes to the board. Means that board still costs only $500 versus $500 for the board and an added $50 usually is how they do it. So I definitely like watch that, check that out. But I would check that out. And I would demo a board first. Now try a couple different boards. Be willing to spend a day doing it. Grab a good breakfast, have an open mind, and ride. I want to try a 155 soft. I want to try a 155 a little stiffer. Or I want to try a 157 soft and a 158. Because the thing is with the board height matters for stability, but your weight associated with that board, there's a certain weight range where it's got a certain intended flex and intended feel. If you have a noodle of a board, let's say this board's like a stiffness of 5. but because you weigh 185 to 200 pounds, this stiffness is going to act like a noodle, where the intended acting should have been a little bit more stiff. So then you're not going to get the same performance that that board was actually designed for because of the weight. So when you're riding 138, that's probably rated for a 100 pound to 160, maybe 145. So then that board is just going to have a different characteristic than its intention. It could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Now when you get in a board that's intended for 200 pounds, and then whatever intended is, it's like, oh, it's soft, it's heavy, whatever it is, you're going to be able to get the performance out of it. We got RJ with a $5 donation. Who would win in a fight? Avron with a peg leg or Buckhouse wearing its clue stirrups? Oh, Avron every 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. For $5 div, 10 out of 10. And we also got a spin. ShopBENETEK.com. Let's go. Appreciate the $5 donation. Let's go. Solomon, good board. Yeah, they're good board. Leo, what should I do if the board is too stiff? I would definitely say you have two options here. Engine! Oh, dude, Engine, we gotta talk. In a good way. But hold on. I'm in the middle of a question, but Engine, what? Hold on. Don't leave. If you do, I'm fighting. Okay. Leo, we got stiff board. I think two things that you have the option. One, get used to it, power through it, and ride with the intention of I need to be authoritative. I need to intentionally tell this board to make a turn, do what I need it to do. That's definitely one option. Next option, sell it, get a different one, or see what the return policy is if it's too stiff. I personally right now, I'm riding a really stiff board, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's a new experience, new thing. There's some things that I learned I love about it. The board overall is amazing, and the stiffness is just maybe not what I'm looking for, but it has its place. So if I'm hitting like 100-foot jumps, I know what board I'm riding. If I'm trying to be a little bit more playful, probably not that one. Okay, Engine, what's up, dog? But hold on. Rock. I'm gonna go down the line. Says, I plan on losing weight. Should I just keep the bigger board or let it go when I drop the fat? I would honestly just lose the weight and ride the board and see what you think and then move on from there. It's really hard to speculate now because the board might be even better. Imagine you lost weight and it became better because you can maneuver it in a different way and you feel athletic, you feel strong, you're going to the gym, you just feel like an absolute unit, and the board is right there with you. Could be an option. So I'd wait. I'd wait and try it out first. That's what I would personally do. And then Smoke says, when I go fast, I do notice catching an edge and falling. So this could be due to the stiffness in my weight and how it hits the bumps. Yes. So back to this analogy. Imagine your board is trying to hit a bump. This is our board. It's a flimsy little thing. This board hits a bump, and instead of the board having enough rigidity to go up and over, maybe it's collapsing and falling forward because the board doesn't have the rigidity, right? The board, theoretically, should be able to go up and over versus right now it could just be collapsing and crashing. I think there's some validity to the fact that it's too small of a board, and I think you're going to become like a better snowboarder when you get on equipment that really handles. Imagine you're like an F1 driver driving a freaking little go-kart with like really bad suspension and really bad suspension and terrible tires, and they don't grip and they're slick, but you're like this insane driver. But you're held back because the equipment of a little baby go-kart is not letting you do what you need to do. And then when you finally are able to release the beast, it could be a big deal. Engine! What's up, dog? Engine. Still alive and kicking. Let's go, dude. How you been? Hopefully you're doing good. Engine says, let's see. How you doing? Crazy, dude. You know, I'm good. You know, we're still chipping away at it. So, Engine, big shout out to Engine. We used to game in like homie for sure, dude. That's sick. I'm glad to see you back in the mix. And you said 2027, we're gonna do a Japan crew to Japan, dude. Japan is sick, bro. You've been there, right? And your back and your body and everything's doing good. You feeling good? Congrats on BENETEK, man. Am I crazy? Or those been a lot of growing in the past year? Juliet, let's go, dude. It's been crazy, to be honest, because like the first year we did it, we doubled in sales, but it wasn't a lot. The next year we did it, we doubled, and it was a decent amount of sales. And then last year, we doubled from the year before, which was crazy. So like we're on a trajectory of double, double, double. This year, I'm not sure if we're gonna double, but even if we did what we did plus 50%, even 30% would be pretty incredible. Got a lot of plans on doing. I got a lot of plans on just trying to like grow the company and make really solid products, have really good customer experience, really create something amazing. And I want to invest in my own proprietary waterproof material. I have a whole idea, theme, scheme, not scheme, that's a wrong, terrible word. My whole idea of a theme of what to do and how to do it. Now I just got to execute it. So I got like, the goal is not just to make a company and blah, blah. My goal is to be here for the next 20 years, creating the most incredible products. And every year is a learning experience, and I get to know a little bit more. Okay, we made a mistake here. Great, fix it. Oh, what about this? Oh, now I'm starting to have a budget to pay somebody. Or I'm starting to have a budget to let's explore on this, this, and this, and do some other stuff. So we've definitely been like growing, and we're not there yet. We're definitely not a big company by any means, but the goal is to absolutely just like, honestly, I just want to disrupt the market. 100% disrupt the market in a positive way. I think that there's some things we can do in terms of like some material science stuff that I'm really trying to figure out, which could be really cool. Disrupt the market. I got some intent behind that. I also think that there needs to be a little bit more high quality materials in a really fun, exciting, inspirational way. Like imagine you have a black jacket. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna go snowboard and wear my black jacket. But imagine you had a jacket that you were just so pumped and inspired that I'm calling off work because I'm so excited because I'm wearing a jacket and I'm going to go snowboard. Like, I want that. But then BENETEK, I also want to be bigger than that. I also want people to feel like they have a place to belong. I want people to feel like they fit in. I want people to be hyped and celebrate people's wins no matter where they are. And as a coach, as a human, that's something that I really love to do. Is you just did your first board slide for the very first time. I'm just as excited for you as the dude that just learned his first double backflip. People might be like, well, you should be excited here. No, it doesn't scale. It should be the same because your win is your win. So I really want BENETEK to be more than just like, oh, we sell gear. I want it to be a family. I want a place to belong. Like most of my life, I've never really fit in. Like there's so much of that I'm just such an outcast or such an outsider. And it's not saying that I'm a loser or I'm like too good or anything. It's just like, I don't feel like I really fit in a place. And I want people like me who just feel like maybe they don't really belong. Like I want people, no matter if you're cool, not cool, you're the sickest snowboarder or not, I want you to have a place to actually belong. And so Natalie, my wife, was talking to me and we were talking about this whole like belong thing. And I was so awkward and so real. I got like emotional because I had this like moment of flashback of like my entire life of like trying to fit in like elementary school and then high school and then trying to fit in the coaching world and then trying to fit in the world that we are in today. And I have my own little niche and do my own thing, but I have a small group of friends that I absolutely like really resonate with and really connect with, but I'm not like that dude who just connects with everybody. Not in that way, but in a way it's like I think I'm just still trying to find my place to fit in, you know? Instead of trying to like fit into somebody else's thing, I'd rather create my own thing, me fit in, and then have people like come vibe with me, if that makes sense. So like BENETEK is going to be bigger than just, and I hate the word merch. To me, merch is, I have a hat and I put a logo on it, right? But no, it's like I'm actually designing what blend of material is this hat? What blend of material is this? What is the shape of this? This is like a custom hoodie. Like the jackets that I have a whole library, closet of like gear that's like custom made. Merch, I don't do merch. I do outerwear. I do technical outerwear. I got all sorts of samples. I got all sorts of stuff. And like the goal is to create something big that's going to disrupt the market in a positive way. And I got so many ideas, and the challenge is really just money, right? To hire a bunch of people to make a bunch of really cool gear costs money. To get more jackets, more inventory takes money, which I'm also okay with because I'm not getting investors. I own 100% of the company, and I want to make the decisions that I feel are best for my customer. We're going to learn. We're going to have some ups and downs. It's not going to be perfect, but every year is getting better and better and better. And I had a dude that's like, dude, last year your jackets were great. I'm like, dude, they're better. He's like, no way. I'm like, they're better. Like, we've made decisions to make them better. And it's like, I had this analogy the other day. It's like, what is driving the company, money or customer delight? If you have a better customer delight experience, the money will come. So you're like, oh, I'm going to choose cheap zippers or expensive zippers. I'm choosing expensive zippers because I want the zippers to work reliable, and I want people to have a great experience. Then the money will come. So then as a business, I still have to get money to reinvest into employees, reinvest into product development. And that's what's exciting about this. And we're growing organically. And year after year, we're going to grow and grow. And then it's cool. I have an extra $1,000 to spend on something. And then in the future, it could be, hey, you have $5,000 to spending something. And eventually it's like, dude, you got to spend $1 million for tax write-off purposes, and you got to do something. That's where we want to become. It's like, there's like a lot of companies out there that are doing some incredible things. So like, why not do incredible things as well? And the big play, honestly, like, because you're my dude and you're here, like the big play, honestly, is to like go BENETEK full time, and eventually my body's going to fall apart and I'm not going to be able to do content. So the honest direction is to like get BENETEK to be the thing. And there's so much going on right now. I freaking appreciate you guys. I get so excited and so passionate about this stuff because like I might just be like such a weirdo like that. Cause like, it's crazy what I've done. And I feel like I haven't done enough. Like, I don't feel like I've made a big enough impact on the world yet. Cool. I have X amount of followers on Instagram and I've helped a lot of people, but I feel like there's a bigger calling to do something bigger. And it could just be arrogance, or it could be just like ignorant, just me being an idiot. Words are hard. But I feel like there's something bigger that I'm meant to do. And I think truly like creating something bigger, more powerful, like a bigger thing, and have a better, bigger impact on people is really what I like am striving for, like, to be honest. And like the content has been impactful. But I don't know if it's like what I'm destined to do is to do that, or is it to be bigger? You guys are going crazy right now. I'm spilling my heart, and I love you all, dude. And I'm gonna get to this. You guys are freaking insane right now. But the goal is to like rival some of these companies, like 100%. The companies that have a monopoly on waterproofing, companies that are doing really big things. I want to rival them both in superior quality, innovation. I also want to be able to do exciting, inspirational things. I would love for somebody to literally be on Mount Everest in a BENETEK gear and do that. Because my stuff is so good, you can literally climb the tallest mountain in the world. But that's also already been done before. So what else can I do? Maybe I don't know. I got ideas, but like I want to do something big. And so when people invest in me and buy gear, whether they know who I am or not, it's going to this like thing that is going to be bigger than just what I can create. It's going to be a big thing. So I'm really excited of what that future is going to be. I'm like literally on the verge of like spending money on a proprietary material and getting science and trying to build something like a new waterproof material that's going to be proprietary, less toxic, like significantly less toxins, more function, and rival some of these companies where I can literally try to like do something. Now, am I like an absolute idiot for trying this? Yes. But like, I want to do that. I want to do something bigger. So now I just feel like I'm repeating myself. So we're going to go over here to the absolute goatees. We got We got some absolutely welcome to the level 2. Ernesto, let's go. You are freaking GOD with a freaking level 2 membership. Let's go. We also got Engine, dude. Welcome to the level 2. We got our boy Engine. We also have Steven with a 48 months. Make a red jacket, please. I was actually... 2 things. Before we move on, 2 things. One is I have a sample coming of a ginormous red puffy jacket, and it's a puffy goose down material. And if you know, goose down is like the top of the line material to keep you warm. It's lightweight, it's packable, it's warm. It's incredible, okay? But I have a red jacket sample coming, and I'm really excited to see what a red jacket would look like. Also, I have another manufacturer doing samples for another jacket, and I'm going to do a red one. So I'm going to get another sample of that. And then I wanted to do just like a straight red tech hoodie. But those are going to be samples. I think that's a really sick thing to do. I think that'd be super freaking fun. We also got our boy Boo with a 5 gifted. Let's go to the membership. So we just got a bunch of new people with that. We also got Engine with another 5 gifted for the memberships. Let's go. You guys are going freaking higgity ham. We also have Jose with another 5 gifted on the memberships on the YouTubular. Let's go. We also got Engine with a $10 freaking donation. Let's go. Tommy, you deserve a big hug because you're staying true to yourself. Keep going strong, my dude. Let's go. I'm going to give that a big old thumbs up. Thank you so much, Engine, with a $10 donation. Let's go. And it's like, at the end of the day, and we got Steven with another $10. You guys are freaking out of control. We got gifteds. We got all sorts of crazy stuff going on right now. You guys are absolutely freaking legends. We got Steven with the $10 donation. Let's go. And that's like, the thing is, like, if I have a platform that has not been easy, I work hard. I posted 1,000 Instagram. It was more like 1,200, but 1,000 still sounds easy. I posted over 1,000 videos in a row on Instagram every single day for 1,000 days. What can you say that you've done like 1,000 days? Like, it's so hard. I probably accidentally, unintentionally forgot to brush my teeth one time. I posted 1,000 days on Instagram in a row. Never missed a day. So it's not like I just got this following because like I've like worked hard. I've also broken my back. I've also had crazy concussions. I've also traveled the world. Like, I've done a lot of stuff to help me get where I'm at. And there's people that are way bigger than me, like, granted. But like, by having an audience, I want to do right by snowboarding. Like, snowboarding has been the one constant in my life that has always been there. Both in like stages of depression, stages of ups, highs, lows, breakups, broken hearts. Like, it's always been there, right? And with that said, it's like, I want to give back and be true to snowboarding, be true to me, and do something like incredibly bigger than just, I mean, I'm sharing love in snowboarding for sure, but like, I feel like there could be more, right? And we also just got freaking, what? A $50 donation from our boy Vu. Let's go. What are you doing? I'm about to sneeze. Not really, just, you know, like a freaking reaction. What are we doing? My wrist hurts. Y'all with a $50 donation. You are incredible, and I appreciate you, Vu. I appreciate everyone that's in here. I appreciate everyone. Let's go. And that's it, right? Like, there's so much that I would never have done this, like, honestly, if I didn't have like a following. So I appreciate everyone for like giving me confidence and opportunity. But I think there's things to do. There's got to be more. There's got to be something bigger. And I think creating something that gets you excited, or gets somebody that's getting somebody excited that doesn't, like, it's got to be bigger. You know what I mean? It's got to be bigger. Getting people excited about cold weather. Just think about it. We all can understand this. Imagine on a cold winter day, you go play, have fun, and have the best day of your life. But imagine the opposite of how many people are absolutely stuck inside hating life and they think this sucks. That's not it, right? Like, how do we inspire people to go outside, go play in a storm and it's -20, but you have great gear and you can go have fun? Sounds amazing, right? Like, I want to be that dude that inspires people to do more, but I also think we can have an environmental impact. I think we can have an impact on people's lives. I think we can just do more. Am I an idiot? Am I just like absolutely just like coolest. What is it like? Just lost. Like I don't know. But regardless, like I get excited, I get passionate about this stuff because I want to create more. Benefest could be an option. What's up, dog? How you doing? You're forgetting your bikes, Tommy. Like dirt bikes, dude. I haven't dirt biked in like 3 years, dude. I'm an absolute trash can. The adventures and question mark. We appreciate you, my dog. My dude. Probably more than you know. It's interesting, right? It's interesting because like you put stuff online, and because I don't see the actual effect, it's hard to know the impact. But I'm also like setting myself up for the long term. Like what happens when my hip doesn't work and I can't snowboard anymore? Because there's days where I'm pretty trashed. Not because I'm drunk, because my hip hurts. You know what I mean? There's days where like my back hurts and I'm beat up. There's days where like snowboarding is hard. Not because I'm old, because I'm just so freaking broken. And so not a sob story, an inspirational story here. Oh. Okay, we're going to do some stuff here. For the donations, we're going to spin the wheel because we got to spin the wheel. So if you donate, you get a chance to spin, which means you could win some stickers. Big shout out, Jose. Almost, you can't see it, but there's the win. There's the, dang it. I appreciate the $10 engine. That's for engine. We also got our boy Steve with a spin of the wheel. We're going to give it a spin. Shop BENETEK.com, which is my company. Thanks, Jose. iPod, what up, dog? I'm at Woodward Tahoe right now, dude. That's sick. Are you on the chairlift, vibing, hanging out, headphones in, having the sickest day ever? I'm hoping. Have you ever been to Granite Peaks in Wisconsin? No. Going for the first time next week looks sick. I actually have not been there, dude. It definitely sounds like a vibe, dude. It sounds like a vibe. So, yeah, that sounds really cool. The other thing I was thinking about the other day is like, I was thinking about, it's okay. As like a person who like runs his own business, like I kind of, my wife like came to like a realization yesterday. She went to, Thailand to go do some like spiritual meditation stuff. And she's like, she sent me like, she's like sitting next to me, texting me a list. So here's the 5 things that you need to do. She's like, I think I'm your secretary. I'm like, she's like, it's good because you are all over the place. And I'm like, 100%. Like, I'm trying to like execute this while thinking about the future. I got to work on, cool, we got to sell jackets. We got to do this. But I also need a proprietary jacket so that we can do this, that can change that. But then I also got to make sure that I have summer camp running. And I also got to make sure I'm creating content because I have a video that's due and I got to do this and I got to do that. So then I end up having, and Jose, let's go. We got one more spin we got to do. RJ with the $5 donation. Let's go, dude. We are not missing you, bro. We're not missing you. Hopefully you're still here. We got to spin for RJ. Let's go. Oh, don't grab Tende. I should probably change that. But so then I have like all these like things going on. And so I got like a lot of things going on, you know. But I'm always like trying to like think about what I need to do, but also what needs to happen now. So it's kind of funny, but I was like, you know, it'd be really cool making my own proprietary or my own custom zippers. Because then we could put our own names on it and we can have quality control. So this is like the global perspective. It's like I right now use YKK, which are arguably the top of the line, the most popular, trusted zipper brand, whether you know it or not. It's like the most trusted, right? I'm like, what about doing our own and finding a manufacturer to make our own zippers? Is it worth it? I actually don't know if it's worth it, but having the control over the zippers and the manufacturing, being like, I want this material and it's the top of the line, and this is like, dang, that's like I was thinking about being ridiculous, being like, that's a steel metal freaking zipper and that thing is not going to break. Like that's like where I'm thinking, like, is that practical? But like, is it worth looking into? Well, in the end, grand scheme of thing, I'm like, With a lot of the business stuff, it's like you have a minimal order quantity. So you want to do a zipper, you're probably going to have to order 10,000. But when you order 10,000, that's going to be like 10 cents a zipper. Maybe 50 cents a zipper. And you're like, should we do it? So I have all these ideas. Tommy, welcome to my world with the pain, but you'll have good days on snow, but enjoy a little things at my age. I get so stoked doing perfect turns and soon rad flag around tricks. Dude, I broke my back at the age of 17, and I've been like, my whole life I've been in pain. So like, it sucks, right? Like, you know it, I know it, it sucks. But I'm gonna agree, when you make that perfect groomer turn, pretty fun. Pretty fun for sure. Yep. As a backpack guy, YKK is top of the line. Love it when I see manufacturers using them. And that's it. Like, YKK is super awesome, but like, I was just thinking, like, is it worth doing something? How do I do that better? Is it worth it? I don't know. But it's just like those thoughts that go through my head. Is like, one of the biggest pains that people have on jackets is like, the zipper's stuck and it sucks. That's annoying. The zipper broke. That sucks. It's annoying. Like, how do I control the quality of every aspect? So like, a couple years ago, I hate telling this story, but I'm an honest guy. A couple years ago, I asked the manufacturer for YKK zippers as a non-negotiable. They said, absolutely no problem. We're doing YKK. Great. I get 500 units that were YYK. YKK is the main brand. And so they had like an knockoff brand that was YYK. And I was like livid, pissed, so mad. And I was like, I will never work with this again. They're like, we'll charge you the YKK zippers, but we're going to scam you. And that's what these manufacturers got to do. And at the end of the day, it's like, you really got to be aware of the manufacturers and trust them or not trust them. But like, they're going to try to do that stuff. And then Kaz says, from a fashion background, YKK zippers are the best. Beware of Chinese crap, which was that YYK. YYK instead of YKK. Kaz, you have a background? You want to talk? You want to help me out on some like designs or anything? I would love to hear more. You're in Australia. Love to hear more. You're like 30 hours in front of us or behind us. But I'd love to hear more. If there's any way to get some knowledge from you, would be cool. You ever think about branding your own board? Says the adventure and the question. I don't want to. Because here's the thought. And this could be how I stand right now. May change. So I'm never going to say never, but here's my thought. When I'm creating a product, I'm thinking about creating a product that is going to help snowboarders and have a market that's going to be pretty big. Because I like to think like big and global. So if you have a market that's like 4 million people versus a market of 30 million people, I'd rather have the market of 30 million people versus 4 million. So that's kind of my thought. So then when you have like a snowboard brand, I'm competing against a lot of people. People are brand loyal. It's really hard for people to jump ship from Burton, jump ship from this, that, and the other. Plus you buy one board every, couple years? Some buy every board every year. Some buy boards every couple years. So I think the play is really hard. Plus shipping is really expensive. Managing that size of material is really expensive. So when I pay for a fulfillment center, I pay for the fees for them to grab it and ship it. I also pay for the fee to store. The more I move product, the less I pay. So if I have a board takes up a lot of space, that's going to be expensive. So then you all of a sudden are starting to lose money on the shipping and the box that you had to specially buy and the stores that you had to have. And the shipping is expensive because it's heavy. And then I want to do free shipping because it's a better customer experience. But if you don't do free shipping, now I'm going to buy a board and it's another $60 for shipping. It gets expensive. So then that's a customer delight. That's not good. So then boards become really hard. Plus you need 148, 151, 153, 155, 158, right? All of a sudden I have five SKUs, but then I need a camber and a reverse camber and a hybrid and a this, that. All of a sudden I have all these boards and then guess what? Only one of them sold anyways. So then when you have like, only the random board that had a pink top that only made 30 of them out of the 1,000 of them, and I sold 30 boards, now I have 970 boards to deal with, and then you have to like try to liquidate it, try to get it. It just becomes like a lot. So there's like a lot of things in consideration of why I do what I do. I love goggles because skiers and snowboarders and snowmobilers and dirt bikers can all wear goggles. That market becomes big. Jackets, skier, snowboarder, cold weather, market becomes bigger. Snowboarding, it's not a massive market. I love snowboarding and I'm going to give to snowboarding, but there's other ways to do that. It's how I feel right now. All the gear I've found for like minus 20 Celsius, I can't use that I hear in negatives. It's expensive. Anything higher, I can't 5/ baggy looking cigarette sucks. And it, smoke, the big thing about like, yeah, it's really tough. Like I have like a $500 puffy jacket. I didn't pay for it. I got it for free. So disclaimer, it's amazing. It's negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit and or negative like 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm having the greatest day. I'm not layered up. I have like a base layer, a puffy jacket, and I have freedom and movement. I don't need to layer up and be like all Christmas story. So having like good gear, there's absolutely a place for that. But then I think a lot of that like $300 and up stuff, to me, it's just boring. Like if you give me a company and you're like, Tommy, and this is just me, obviously, Tommy, here's $1,000. Buy any jacket that you want. It would probably take me so long to find a jacket that I love, and it's most likely that I wouldn't even love it, and I would just settle on a jacket that's okay. Because I think a lot of the designs, for me, I don't love it, to be honest. They're like boring. Like, oh, that's a black jacket. You're like, that's all right. Well, that's a green jacket. That's all right. Here's a black jacket with a little square of blue. And you're like, that's all right. It's not inspirational. It's not exciting to me. Some days I want to be low key. Some days I want to stand out. It depends what I'm doing. But I also want something that like I feel like confident in my gear. There's not a lot of gear that I like look good. It might function. Buying an $800 jacket and it functions, but it doesn't look good, it'd be cool to change that. Dude, I appreciate that. Get Hooked Outdoors, dude. I appreciate that. We got some really sick stuff. I'm really pumped on this year. Already going through next year's designs. We got all sorts of stuff. It's so fun. iPod, what up, dog? I have a Burton Dominant 151 and a Burton Custom original toe stretch. Yo, let's go. Dude, that's sick. Do you think drone operations are currently a niche in the snowboarding market? And from your point of view, are they needed for competition? I think they're super awesome. There's a lot of barriers to entry because a lot of the national forest and a lot of the resorts don't want people to operate it. So you have to get a license. And then to get a license is doable, but then most times if you have a license, they don't let you operate at the resort unless you're a resort employee, because now that drone is covered under the liability of the resort and not this separate entity and all this other stuff. It becomes messy. So I asked like a company or like a resort, I was like, hey, can I do blah, blah? And they're like, no, you have to be an employee and you have to be licensed. And I was like, I am not either. As far as a competition, I think there's a small place. I think there's a place. Small competitions are pretty small. I think there's a place for it. I think snowboard competitions it hasn't been really popularized yet. I definitely think there's a place, but it's just a small place. And if you're going to try to get a job in there, which I think anything's possible, you have to really bring something to the table that outperforms everyone else, which is like what you really got to do. Fashion over function. Function over fashion. But imagine being able to have a jacket that functions and it looks good. My new kit, I went all black. Used to rocking a hella bright colors in my youth, though. Yeah, and I think there's ways to do black really exciting, really tastefully, right? Because I don't want to be like Jerry, crazy, ugly, that's super obnoxious. I want to do like really fun, inspirational stuff that's tasteful. My new, we got that one. Sleeper. The thing is that the 300 to 400 plus is a lifetime warranty like AK line. 100%. And that's like one of the cool things is as a company behind the scene, how many times can I replace your jacket as a lifetime warranty? How many times can I replace that warranty while still being profitable? Let's just use math real quick. If I have a jacket that I pay $100, or I got it as a manufacturer for $100, easy math, I sell it to you for $1,000. I could replace that jacket for you 6, 7, 8 let's just call it 7 times. I could replace that jacket 7 times within that $1,000 budget of cost of materials. I could probably replace that thing 7 times and still be slightly profitable. So that is part of the benefit of spending that $500 on something and you get a lifetime warranty. But as a company, how many times can I replace that while it's still being profitable? Because if I replace that thing 30 times, cost me $3,000, and I only made $1,000 from you, I'm going bankrupt. So there's a balance there. And that's, that's like one of the cool things about being able to charge more is you can do beautiful things like that. Because I could replace that jacket 7 times for you and still keep you stoked, and I still get to pay my employees. Right? That's the cool thing. The lifetime worth thing is really cool. And that's also the other thing is like sleeper. If you can build it so that you don't have to replace it, or like a Patagonia, for example, if they can repair it, they're going to repair it and give it back to you. Great. Love that. It's going to cost somebody to repair that. It's going to cost shipping. It's going to cost money still, but I get to do that so that I'm not wasting material and having to throw away a garment. There's certain things that they cannot do, and they'll have to replace that whole thing. But the goal is to build it so that it's not replaceable. But there are some like materials. Give me 1 second. Don't leave. There are some materials like this. Here's a puffy jacket. This thing's incredible. I'm going to put it on, even though I'm about to break a sweat. This thing is like incredible. Now this outside material is very susceptible to getting torn from a tree, a rock, a branch, because this material is designed to be breathable, lightweight, and function in a certain regard. If I wanted something that was very rip resistant, that's going to be like the most firmest, like unpleasant material. So then it's a balance, right? We want something that's lightweight but might break. But I want something that's this. I'm not going to go snowboarding this. One of the things that I'm working on right now is I'm getting my own puffies made that are just like this, that are goosed down. We have some innovative features that we're working with that I don't want to spoil yet, but we have some innovative features that makes ours better, superior, or solves a problem ultimately, right? Solves a problem in the game. And I have so much orange on right now. This is a little absurd. So we swap that out. Oh, that looks so much better. So then being able to like swap that out is like oh yeah, so we have like some other stuff so we're working on some stuff, but having like gear that I could ride in this jacket on a negative 20-degree day. So that's why I was like, I want to create something that I can ride out there that solves problems, that's super incredible, but it's going to be a little bit pricier because I'm giving like proprietary materials. I'm doing like proprietary materials, and I'm investing on research and development to get a specific material that only we have, that I could license out. I'm also investing into like other solving problems. That's the fun part, right? That's like, how do I solve this problem? Yo, let's go! Vu with a 13 months and a super chat. I want an orange BENETEK hoodie in the future. I'm working on a couple different designs. One of them is like a couple designs. One of them is going to be like, I have a red puffy coming, a black puffy, and an orange puffy. Those are the 3 puffies I have coming, plus a couple more designs. I don't know if I have like, that's 4, 5, 6, 7 puffy designs coming. One's going to be like a lightweight puffy, kind of like this one right here. But it has like a couple different innovative features. So I have some like, I have like a lightweight puffy like this. It's going to be a little bit thinner. Like, notice how thin it is. Can't really tell on screen. But so we're going to do a lightweight puffy. I got 2 of those coming. And then 4, 5. So I got 5 big puffies coming. Yep, 5 big puffies. One of them is going to be orange, dude. Do you have a time frame for the puffy jackets? I would probably get samples. I'll probably get samples. I'm probably going to do a sample, get them in February. So then I'm going to test them like February, March, April. And then I would like to come to market next year. Big shout out to my dad, mom watching. Hello. Thank you for the support. And yeah, boo, it's going to be sick, bro. I'm super pumped. And do you have a time frame? Okay, we got that. So I'm thinking February, March. Also, here's something else because you're here. This is a fun topic. I'm going to be doing this one thing. So we have samples coming of 30 new BENETEK designs, maybe 35 tech hoodies, maybe 35, maybe 40. I don't know yet. So we have new tech hoodies coming, and we're going to sell them as a one-of-one. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with like what we've done in the past at Shop BENETEK. I also have to pee super badly, so I might be getting going soon. But over here on the web browser, why are you so weird, bro? I don't know why you're a weirdo. Okay, here on the website, we have this thing, waterproof tech hoodie, and then exclusive designs. So we had this one, which is going to be mountain peaks with the white top. Then we had this one, which is going to be the black one with lines. And then we had this one. So this one is a one-of-one. This is an exclusive one. This is one, and this one will never be made again. So there's somebody out there riding this jacket that you'll never see again. So going into, and we've done this in year past, and I want to make sure people are excited about it and know about it at least. We're going to do this. Now we have 30 designs that we literally have 30, if not more. I'm probably going to have like more like 40 designs. Do you guys want to see some of the designs? Should I show you? Should I show you some of the, so we're going to do these designs. So we're going to sell them as a one-of-one. Okay, we're going to sell these as one-of-one. Means that we're going to have, out of the 30 designs, I'm going to make samples, and then anybody, or then I'm going to take 5 to 9 of them to make and bring to the market. So let's just call it 5 of them bring to the market. The other ones, the other 25 of them, we sell as one-of-ones. Okay, now when I do that, is it? I'm so confused. Maybe that's why. Maybe I'm in the wrong account. Yeah, I am. I was in the wrong account. I don't want to show you all, like, you know, okay, so this. So I'm going to try to zoom in. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we're going to sell these as one-of-ones. And now look at this. This one here, I think this is pretty cool. Okay. Maybe you love it. Maybe you hate it. What about number 2? What about number 3? What about number 4? Now look at number 5. Cool. It's got a little texture. We're going to get pants that, I like to do pants that complement that. Okay. So then we go over here. Then we got this one. We got this tree one. We got this logo, this one, this one, this one. And we got something simple. Number 10. Super simple, super cool. Number 11. Okay, maybe you love it. Maybe you hate it. Number 12. Holy cow. Do I love 12. 13. I'm not going to lie to you. I freaking love 13, to be honest. And then 14 has like these little lines and stuff, and this little logo, little BENETEK tech hoodie. Number 15, right? So then I got 15. Now I got 25 more of these. They're going to be like these, okay? They got some interesting stuff. Maybe you love it. Maybe you hate it. There's going to be some interesting stuff. One-of-one designs. I personally like this one too. Number 7, pretty freaking sick. So then what we do is I keep 5 of them to bring to market. And then these ones I'm going to sell as a one-of-one. So let's say number 7 we don't bring to the market. You could own number 7 and no one else will ever have it in the world. Or number 15. What if we don't do number 15, but Smoke over here is like, dude, that thing's sick. So we're going to do this, and we're going to sell these as a one-of-one. Now, we've done this we did this 2 years ago. Last year, we didn't do it just because we weren't ready for the time frame. But we're going to be selling these probably towards, like, March. Probably selling these in March. Now I have 15 more designs too. I also have this. I'm just going to move screens real quick just so that I don't know if there's any important data. Oh yeah, so then like here's these. I wasn't really a big fan of these, but like there's that one. And they're not really rendered in yet, but that one, you kind of get the gist of it. Couple lines, couple of those. I wish it would render in. I should probably stop moving, huh? There we go. That one. Wasn't like all that big a fan of much of these. But there's like some options here. Don't really love that. Yeah, I wasn't really keen, so we're getting like 15 more. Okay. We also have this. Oh, check this out. We got people asking about this. Boom! Pants. Now this is changed. Number 2 has changed a couple times. That's not the final one, but that's like a couple examples. I don't know if I love these. I like this. I think we're going to do a simple black pant with nothing, this, but we're trying to make a couple different ones. So like behind the scenes, we got like a lot going on. So then like, yeah, we got numbers like, we got ones like, oh, 15 that matches the helmet for sure. So it's like, we're going to do special stuff like that where it's like, you can have access to some of the stuff that's like never going to be made. Like, I think that's really cool to be able to go, like, imagine you go buy like a big name brand and be like, Patagonia, I can get a jacket that no one else has in the world. That's unheard of. So I think it's really cool to be able to do stuff like this. Yes, it's going to be really hard to, like, they sell out every year. Boom. Like, I think it'd be really cool as, like, the company grows and gets bigger and still stay true to something like this where you have a chance to get a one of one and it becomes, like, a cool little event and you got to, like, we only have 30 of these and you do that. The other part is, like, I don't make money off of selling them. I just recoup the money that I spent to get them made. So then, like, that helps cover costs of R&D, research and development. It's really nice to make, like, this all work. It's like, and then you get something that no one's ever going to have. Pretty cool, right? Should we hang out for like 15 more minutes? Because this would arguably be the longest live stream I've ever done, which would be 3 hours. We started at 3. We are at 2 hours and 43 minutes. So we have 17 minutes to go. Should we stay on or should we go? I do have to use the restroom. We are losing people rapidly, but we could stay on. Thanks for everything with the Jibril. Let's go. What a $5 donation. Are you serious? Are you serious? Let's go, dude. Oh, win a sticker. Let's go. Dude, hit me up. I got some stickers. I need to make some more stickers. Also, if anybody is artistic and wants to draw some BENETEK stickers for me and create something new, we could do that. Hit me up in the DM of Instagram. But we could do, I want to do another, like, sticker, like another sticker, I need some more sticker designs. The stickers that I have, I'm not really that hyped on them, to be honest. They're good, but I think they could be better. I was thinking about one earlier. I just had an idea. Is this lame? I wish I could draw. My drawing skills are about as cool as a freaking cucumber. I need to charge my iPod. We're not going to draw, but we are going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to, I got an idea. We're going to stay on for 3 hours. Means we have 15 minutes more, and then I'm going to get going. How does the wheel work, says Ben. So essentially, anytime somebody donates, whether using the link down below or the link that's in the chat, and if you donate any dollar from $1 to $10 million, I'll take it, then you get a chance to win a sticker, and then you spin the wheel and you get a sticker if there's like 3 different spots. And then on the sticker, you get some of these. We also just got another donation from our boy, The Adventures and the... Question. Why am I hearing stuff in here? Are you guys hearing that? That is so weird. Did you guys hear that? Okay, maybe I'm just losing my mind. I'm out, my dude. It's chow time. But a $5 donation from the boy. Oh, dude. And Jen says it's almost 2 a.m., dude. Stick with me, dude. Let's make it to 2 a.m., then we can all go to bed. We're gonna spin for the boy. Did not win, but I think we should do this. We're gonna do a little something right here, quick. Before you guys go, because we're not done yet. We got 15 more minutes, okay? 15 more minutes. We're gonna watch a video. We're gonna be vibing. I gotta really pee before I blow up my bladder, because that would be awkward. You wouldn't even know it, but I'd be crying all over the place. I'd be crying all over. We're gonna watch this video because this video is fire. I also got another video coming soon. We got videos. We're gonna do this. I can hear it too. What is that noise? Is it the donation link? Was that what that was? It was so weird.
You wanna?
Oh, we don't want to watch that in slow motion. Hold on. Hold on. That would be so awkward. $1080? Are we in 1080? We should be at like 1440, my dudes. Okay, we're just gonna watch a little bit of this. I'm gonna use the bathroom and then we're gonna vibe. But what are you doing? I don't understand. Okay, hold on. Please hold. This is going to be what we call a streamer problem. Oh, that looks beautiful. Absolutely looks beautiful. Please hold. We're gonna watch. We're gonna vibe. We're gonna hang out and do this
You
together.
want to learn how to ride switch the absolute fastest, easiest, and safest way possible? Well, if so, I'm going to break down exactly why you should learn switch and how to do it. So let's get started. Learning switch can be one of the most challenging / fun / freeing things that you can do. But first, we got to figure out, what is switch? Switch essentially is when you're riding in your non-dominant direction. So for me, I'm a regular footed rider with my left foot forward. If I were to go to my ride in a goofy stance, well, technically that's my non-dominant direction. Therefore, I would be now in my switch stance. And you may be asking, why should I learn how to ride switch? Well, there's 3 major things that I would say that's pretty convincing. One, let's say that you're riding a pow day and you're over here having some of the sickest turns. Oh my gosh, and my leg gets really tired. Well, guess what? I can literally ride switch and still keep going, have a good time, or anytime I'm fatigued, let's say I'm just riding down the mountain and my leg gets tired. By going switch, I can now free up that leg and allow me just to shred, have more fun, make it to the bottom. Really super good, super important. Reason number 2 is all of a sudden you expand your ability to have creative freedom. What that means is now if I want to do 180s, I want to be able to spin around and do all sorts of fun little tricks. I now can nearly do almost anything because I can ride switch. That's number 2. Now number 3 is you're looking for a challenge.
Okay, I had so much fun editing this. I hate editing, to be honest. If you guys don't even know, I don't like editing. 2 things that I did differently in this video that I'm really would love some feedback, thoughts, and ideas from you is 1, I'm not using music. I would like to try not using music because I want to have a different experience. Number 2, I'm slowing down and really trying to talk smooth and nice and low key, right? That's something that I'm really trying to focus on. And then 3rd is by not having a crazy amount of editing, by having not to do added music and stuff, it frees me up to do stuff like this where I can add like, I don't know, just kind of fun little like words to like re-engage people and try to make like better content. Cause like, I don't know, I've said this before, like I don't think my long form content is the best. I think it could be better. But here's part of the dilemma, the creator's dilemma. I don't want to spend money on an editor because I might not make that money back. So I edit myself, but then maybe my videos could be better and I could make more money if I had an editor. So I don't know yet, but editing would cost me like quite a bit of money. And I don't even know if it's a good job because I don't know if they know snowboarding. I don't know if they know what the heck we're doing.
Maybe your resort is super mellow. Maybe you're just nervous to go in the park. Whatever reason, there's a fun way to challenge yourself, and that is by riding switch.
Okay, great question. Two things I want to comment. We got Jen in here says, loving the arrows on the new videos. Thank you. That's one thing that my wife appreciated, is because sometimes I'll show her a video, not always, but she's like, oh, you're talking about this, but I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, oh, just look at the line behind me. And then I started doing arrows, and she's like, oh, that's what you're talking about, because I didn't understand. And not that, I mean, she knows snowboarding, and it's not like I guess she's like hypercritical. She's like, yeah, that was a little confusing, or that wasn't clear, which makes sense. So glad Jen, let's go. Like that you still like the arrows. 2, our boy Vu says, can you do more vlog videos? Now define vlog videos for me, because I tend to think for me that they're boring, and I feel very self-centered when I just make a vlog about watch me, watch my day, I'm awesome. I get super uncomfortable with that. I get super insecure about that. So how can I make content that gets you inspired and excited without being like, look at my day, I'm amazing, right? So that's probably, Vu, why you haven't seen a lot of that content from me, because it's hard for me to do with like my own personality traits.
And then number 3 is, it's just a safety factor. So if I'm trying to cross the run and I'm going this way, well, guess what? I can look uphill. I can see everything that I need to see. So if I can ride switch, guess what? No matter where I go, I'm going to cross the run. I can face uphill instead of being behind me. So
it's a couple of things that I've been working on in some of these videos is, again, like, I think I gotta tell you why, or like what I'm actually talking about, because like a lot of people know what switch is, but a lot of people don't know what switch is, or they're like, I don't know why I need to know it. So that ends up being an experience where it's like, you know, I need to like really do a better job about articulating that. So that's why I kind of spent a little bit longer of an intro talking about like why and the benefits of this. We also got iWest. YouTube says, going snowboarding for the first time next week. What's your biggest tips for newbies watching? For newbies. Watched a couple of your videos already. Let's go! 3 big things that I would absolutely suggest. Number 1, take a lesson if you've never gone. If you take a lesson, you expedite your learning faster, right? You get to stay safer because they're going to teach you the right way. And you're going to develop the correct habits versus the bad habits. That's going to be number 1. As a newbie. Number 2, make sure you dress appropriate, because if it's winter, it's going to be cold. If you're freezing, dude, you're going to be miserable. If you're hot sweating, you're going to be miserable. So I would definitely make sure that you try to find like a good way to layer, or you have, you know, jackets with vents so that you can unzip them and get airflow. And you can even call up if you're going to take a lesson. I would definitely say like, hey, how should I dress? And they'll be like, oh, here's this. It's going to be cold tomorrow. This is what you should do. It's going to be number 2. And then number 3 is expect snowboarding is hard. It is extremely fun, super fun, but it's considered pretty challenging, especially compared to something like skiing. So just know that it's going to take a couple days. As an average, 3 days of lesson, you should be able to do S-turns and ride the chairlift. But that takes 3 days. So if you're not ripping, rocking, doing backflips the first day, just know that that's what this is, and it's really hard. Back to the video. EJ, what up, dog? Love your videos. Keep killing it, my dude. Let's go! I appreciate you, dude.
being able to learn switch has so many functional benefits to it that most people don't even consider. And today's video is actually
big shout out to Insta360, by the way. These guys have been a huge sponsor of mine. And one of the biggest reasons I worked with them is because I actually think this camera is incredible and it serves a purpose. We talked about this earlier in the live stream. If I work with a company, if I'm working with a company, it's because I truly believe the product is going to help the end user. I truly believe in the product. This camera, I film so many of my videos alone without the need of a filmer because this camera alone is sick. Yo, Max, what up, dog? I bet you're awesome at snowboarding. And you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Max. You're not wrong.
Sponsored by Insta360 X4. And as you've seen, this entire Switch video has filmed.
We're gonna skip this, but I got like a little distracted from this trash can over here.
For you, and you can even practice this at home. You can do this on the side of the mountain, whatever it is. You can do this very first step, like literally right now. So we're gonna pull over to the
Jen Shred says batteries doesn't fail in the snow like GoPro. Dude, I've had I've had a lot of struggles with GoPros. And then moving to like I've worked with a couple of different companies, and I'm like, if I were to buy a GoPro, or sorry, buy an action cam or buy a 360 camera, what would I do? This is a true story. Before I ever got a sponsorship with Insta360, the very first time I turned them down. Because I just didn't really think it was the right move at the time. They came back and said, hey, we want to do another deal. I was like, oh. But after turning them down, I went and bought a camera. I bought 2 of their cameras with my own money, and I rode their cameras, and wow, did I fall in love. I fell in love with their cameras, and then they're like, hey, we want to work with you. And I was like, hands down, yes. And I just spent about $1,000 on your cameras, because I think one of them's like $450. The other one was like $450. So like plus some batteries and stuff. So like I spent so much money on it, and I was like, yeah, I'm down because I believe in the product. And then some of the other ones, like I've kind of like struggled, Been on Insta360 for a couple of years, started with the X2, and now you're on, dude, now on to the Ace Pro and love it. The Ace Pro is the best action cam on the market. The Insta360 X4, the 360 camera, best one on the market. I freaking love them. And this year they got from like the 5.7K to the 8K, and it is so much better. Like this video looks good. This video looks
I'm in a really good area.
Sorry, I hate when people talk over the audio, so I will do my best to not do that. I watch this other streamer, dude, who does that same thing, and he constantly talks over the video, and I wrote him a message and said, dude, I love your videos, but I hate when you do that because I want to hear what you say. Trying to be better. Pause.
It's really flat. I'm out of the way. People can see me from above. So I would argue pretty good place. Now I'm a massive fan of doing like a mirror movement, meaning I like to do things my dominant direction first, and then I'm going to try to kinesthetically mimic that same thing. And
do you guys like the text? So in this video specifically, I added a lot more text to help for people who are more linguistic, because like you have your different learning styles. You have people who are more auditorial, listen. You have your visual learners, but then you have like people who are a little bit more linguistic. They like to read. So I started adding the reading to help the learners, because at the end of the day, if I can make people better, that's like the goal.
Kinesthetically just means I'm trying to feel the same feelings, whether it's switch or regular. So let's just start off with our body facing uphill, and we're going to lock our toe edge in just like this. Now, when I'm here, I like to be in this really smooth.
And big shout out to Day Job Shredder. I meant Day Job Shredder was the one who had the Insta360 for a couple years, dude. What a legend.
Nice strong stance. And this is what you should be using on your regular riding. And then we're going to apply it to our switch.
So then we also had Smoke in here who said, I'm a watcher, then a doer type of learner. And so you do have like your watchers, your doers, your feelers. And so there's definitely different styles of learning. And so in this video, I'm also trying to trigger people on the feeling. So it's those doers, right? If you are a watcher, you can see what I'm doing in arrows. And then I'm talking about the feeling of the shin press against the front of the boot. I want you to feel you squish that bug. I'm adding those to target a different learning style. Then we have linguistic, which is our readers. I'm targeting those people with the text. So as much as this sounds like a video, I'm putting a lot of thought in how can I effectively communicate what I'm trying to get across through these different aspects of the video.
So if you need to use this first and go back and do your regular turns, totally, and then go to your other turn. So ideally we're in this stance where my lead shoulder is pointing in the direction I'm going. I have my weight about 60% on my lead foot. So I'm just adding a little bit of pressure, and my belly button is no longer centered in the board. It's just a little forward. And then notice how I have my knees bent. I do have weight over the toes here because I am on my toe side edge. When I'm doing a toe side turn, ideally I'm doing this concept called knee steering. Follow along. I'm trying to press my shin to the front of my boot as if there's a bug on my ankle strap. Now it looks like this. I'm just trying to pressure that shin to the front of the boot. Notice that my shoulder's pointing in the direction I'm going, my hip is stacked, and I'm in this nice, beautiful position. What I am not doing is I'm not here. So if I'm lead shoulder pointed this way, I'm gonna move the camera, lead shoulder pointed that way, now I'm trying to press on that shin. It's a lot harder because I don't have my weight over that. So I wanna make sure my shoulder, hip, and body's all over the lead one. Okay, cool. Now you get it. Let's go to switch.
So pretty cool, right? We got some stuff trying to really articulate these body positions, but slowing down, calming down, getting this information across effectively as possible. Going to the hill this weekend. I've been watching a lot of your videos. Let's go. I need to learn how to ride flat and not catch edges. Two big things with that. One, make sure that I like to stay on an edge so that it's like I'm constantly carving so I can have grip on the snow. But if I were to ride flat base, make sure your lead shoulder's pointing in the direction you're going, and then you won't catch an edge. I'm liking this video more and more, as always, with the info is spot on. I'm really stoked on this video, and my wife and I had like this, we were hanging out watching one of my videos, and she's like, I wish I could find it. Well, let me see if I can find this real quick. Hold on, because this is just like...
It's going to essentially do the same thing.
Whoa, easy, big dog. Too many screens. Okay, I'm going to try to find this picture. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. No. Maybe it's like something like this, okay? This is what my wife feels like when I communicate, when I talk to her, okay? So when I'm making a YouTube video, where is it? There you go. When I'm making a YouTube video, this is what she imagines. She imagines that I am just an absolute uncontrollable fire hose of information, absolutely just blasting. We got another one. There's another one. Hold on. Here's a better one. We got another one. Okay. Oh, this is good. This is good. This is good. We got another one. Hold on. Okay, this is so funny. Okay, this is what it's like. Okay. Do you agree? This... Okay. This is what it's like when you watch a Tommy Bennett video. You are absolutely just blasted with information, and it's like, just absolutely wrecked. So this is what my wife feels like when she watches a Tommy Bennett video. Absolutely just destroyed, okay? Like, that's how Natalie feels. Now, she's amazing, and I love her opinion. And I value her opinion, and I had absolutely zero problems telling me this. And this is not effective communication. Right? See, you guys are absolutely agreeing, which also means you're absolutely roasting me. But this is true. So then, like, contrast that to this.
We're going to practice that same thing. I got my lead shoulder pointed where I'm going, my knee pressing to the front of the boot, and I have 60% of my weight on my lead foot. That's for my toe side. Now,
it's a... Jen, I can't unsee that now. So, like, this video is even way more calm, even in the beginning.
You want to learn how to ride switch the abs.
Sorry, it goes really kind of like get your attention.
You want to learn how to ride switch the absolute fastest, easiest, and safest way possible.
Boom, you saw that energy shift. And safest way possible.
Well, if so, I'm going to break down exactly why.
Well, right, I'm like slowing it down. So I'm really trying so hard to do better. I'm trying so hard. I want to do better. Yo, Maury, what up, dog? I'm dying. Hold on. Okay. All right, so am I a forward lean lover? Absolutely not. I am a massive fan of zero forward lean. If I could actually do negative, negative, negative forward lean, I do that. Now, you might be like, okay, that's ridiculous. Two reasons why I love lack of forward lean. I'm trying to find like an analogy here. You can't even see this. So, like, it doesn't really matter. We are not high enough. We are not high enough, and I have like nothing around. Oh, here we go. Big shout out to Nike for the freaking new outlet store. I paid for them. Imagine this is the back of your binding. Okay, just we're using what we have here. Okay, so imagine this is the back of the binding, and this is my back of my boot. Okay, if I have forward lean, anytime I accidentally apply pressure to my boot, I'm gonna create a change. But imagine I had a little bit room for air. So then when I move a little bit, like let's just say like this much, notice that it's not going to create an effect until I get to this point, then it will create move. So by having the lack of forward lean, I have a little bit more room for error. That means that if I'm on a box, like a rail, a box type thing, that when I accidentally am an inch off because I'm not perfect, I have a little bit more room to not die. But if I had that forward lean up and I barely am off a centimeter, I'm dying. I'm slipping out. I'm gonna have a rough day. So that's like one reason why I love not having forward lean, is because I feel like I have a little bit more room for error. Okay. The other thing that I really love about that is I can theoretically not just have to be like so precise all the time. I'm riding and carving, and if I'm, it's kind of, I guess it's the same thing, right? Room for error, but it's like I don't have to always be on it. I don't have to always have my knees flexed. If I want to be a little bit more efficient, a little bit more lazy, I have that ability because I can like kind of stand tall, and then I'm not standing tall and engaging an edge. I can have a little bit more efficiency with my movement if I'm tired or I'm just cruising to the park. I'm not having to be in like a squat all the time. Yeah. Okay. Well. Steve, maybe you might be on to something here. That's too funny. Are all back bindings adjustable? No. Some of them are more adjustable than others, but I would say like not all of them. And some of them naturally have like a little bit of a forward lean to them where some are not. I like the more vertical ones. Yo, I covered 37 miles on my snowboard today. What? Everything hurts. Dude, I bet. Forward lean can feel nice when you're on a double black diamond. And for me, my body's so used to adding a little bit extra lean or extra movement to compensate for that lack of responsiveness that I have no problems in black diamond moguls. I still do front threes, back threes. I still ride them better than most people or skiers at that. Some skiers. So then like, I definitely think it could benefit you on black diamonds, but I don't find it necessary just because I've done this so long. If that makes sense. How much crazier of a ride is it between a wax board and a not wax board? I just bought my first snowboard. Congratulations. It's older and I know it needs a refresh, but I took it out and it still feels crazy fast. If you got a good board with a really good base material, you're probably going to add 15 to 20% speed. Now, if it's like an old beat up, not good board, it could be 50% better. So you might not actually be adding that much. Now, for me personally, it comes into play more when I know I need to wax my snowboard is when I'm going to ride a lot of catwalks or hit jumps. Because in both those situations, I need that extra speed to carry me through flat sections. Like if I'm going to Blue Sky in Vail, it's notorious for being catwalks and flat and not snowboard friendly. Skier friendly, not snowboard friendly. So if I'm going to go there, I'm going to wax my board so I can absolutely smoke everyone. If I'm going to be hitting large jumps, I would rather have too much speed than not enough because then I could get hurt. Those two situations, I'm waxing. Other than that, I get away with most days not even waxing. NGen is also not a forward leaner. There we go. Felix, what up, dog? Tommy, I promise I'm not being a shill, but have you checked out the Burton Step on bindings? They have a little spring on the high back that makes them heel, engage more, and gentle and smooth. I have not. I absolutely think that the Burton Step-ons are one of the better step-on variations on the market. Because they're like super research and developed. So that's really awesome. But I also would say that I would also say on like certain step-ons and stuff is that they're absolutely sick for like the right demographic. Like I have no problem with them. They're not for me, but they're for a lot of people. So I'm all about it. What type of wax do you recommend? Pearl Wax. If you go to pearlwax.com and you use Tommy15, you get 15% off. They have two different waxes I'll show you right now. But we first got to enjoy that, okay? I think it's, if you just go to here to like, pearlwax.com. I like these because they're a Colorado company. They're also They're also biodegradable, cool stuff. They also have two different styles of wax. Okay, when you buy Pearl, you got the original, and I would say this is like your recreational wax. Okay, that means I'm gonna go ride it all the time. Not a big deal. Super sick. Okay. There's two different options, so it might be a little confusing on here, but there's two different options. So you've got your different speeds / your different temperatures. So when you wax, you want to wax to a different temperature. Yellow, spring, warm. Purple, universal, cold, and sub-zero, Arctic, cold. Okay, so let's just go with like blue right now. Then you have the option of this box, which is going to be 24 ounces. If you watch my waxing video, which I'll show you here in a second, if you watch the waxing video, you could probably get 5 to 8 waxes out of this right here for 12 bucks. It's a hell of a deal, okay? You go to the 1 pound, you're going to get a season's worth. Pound, it's 485 grams, I believe, so a pound right there, boom. Then this is going to be your recommended temperature snow. So this is going to go 5 to 20 degrees snow temperature. So when you look outside, my YouTube chat just dropped the bed, shut the bed. With this one, it's going to be this temperature, which is going to be 5 to 20 degrees, okay? So that's a pretty solid temperature range. It's going to be a little bit colder, blah, blah. So when you use this. Now, this is their, like, recreational wax. 30 bucks, you can get an absolute season for riding almost every day. That's going to be incredible. Now, the one that I personally get from them and request and require or demand, I don't know how you want to say it, is going to be this one. You got your orange, your purple, and your cold. I use these. Now, these are going to be their pro formula, which don't do this one. I love you. Don't do that one. So then this one's going to be a little bit more expensive. But like I said, $34. You can get 8 to 10, I said 5 to 8 waxes out of that. Still a hell of a deal. This is going to be a lot faster. This is noticeably faster. Night and day faster, okay? Absolutely, night and day. You get the brick. The brick is going to be this. This is going to be $95, okay? Now, let me put it in perspective. If you go to a snowboard shop and you get a tune, it's going to cost you $45, and that's going to be one time. Now, it's going to last you between 3 and 5 days. But now imagine you can get 20 to 30 waxes out of this. That's like $3 a wax compared to 4 to 5. Heck of a deal, right? So I personally like these pro waxes. They're way better. But if we were to add this to the cart and you use this code, you go here and you add Tommy, spell my name right, 15, apply, 15% off. Now that just turned it, you just save 15 bucks. Plus I get a little bit kickback. But I like Pro Wax. That's what I would recommend. Now, as we go back over to this, you go into this. If you go to my YouTube channel, you go to the corner and you just type in wax or Tommy Bennett wax. Check out this wax guide. I literally made this. This thing is fire. This is the absolute best way to wax your snowboard. This right here is going to be the most effective and efficient way to wax your snowboard. Discount code is going to be there as well. There's this method right here. I don't know why it's so weird. This method right here is the best method. This is going to be the most efficient and effective way of doing waxing. The benefit of this is you're going to be able to use significantly less wax, and that means you have to waste less money, waste less wax, and you don't have to scrape that wax off later. That's sick, right? And 2 is more efficient, so you get more out of that brick of wax or the 68 grams, and then that you can get this snowboard covered equally by doing this. This is called the crayon method. Now, I originally learned this from the US team. So the pro skier, racers, downhill Olympians, this is how they wax. So if the top of the line dudes are doing it, why should we not do that? Now you're gonna drip a little bit here in the center, but that's manageable, but we're trying to minimize the drippage. Any sites for Canadian? I'm pretty sure you can use this for Canada, and the code is Tommy15. If you go to this video, you're gonna see it down in the bottom. Down here, it does say, use code Tommy15 for 15% off. So if you need to refer to this, guess what? One more thing. This is a lifetime code. Every time you use Pearl, you're going to be able to use this code for the rest of your life. Always get 15% using my code. It's not a one-time offer. Use it, use it, use it, and use it again. I'm a dripper. Dripper and a splasher. Spliggity splashing all over the place. Lewis, what up, brother? I'm 47 years old and I started snowboarding because of your videos. Absolutely no way, dude. You are freaking insane. That's so cool to hear. He also says, and the most amazing and painful thing I've ever done. I do love it though. Dang, dude. I've been there, bro. Been there for sure. But stoked to have you, man. I'm stoked to have you in the sport. That's freaking sick. That's super duper dope. You know, and Jen's splasher. Dude, he's a dripper and a splasher. One of the things I don't like about dripping wax is it also splashes all over my nice BENETEK limited edition. You don't have this kind of hoodie. And then I have my doggo. This is dog paw. He got my freaking hoodie dirty. But oh, there it is. But I'll remember him forever. But I'll remember him. LOL, the new things you learn about somebody. We able to watch the full wax video so I can see, because I'm thinking of bringing it to the place and do it myself. I would say watch that video on your own, because I'm going to get going soon. But if you just type in Tommy Bennett wax, you're going to be able to see that. And then I would say doing it yourself is cool, because I recommend that you wax between every 3 and 5 days. So if you're on a trip, and I personally wax, I'm all over the place. Here's the wax video. Thank you, Jose. But like, I would personally recommend waxing like every 3 to 5 days. So if you did every 3 days, in 10 days, you've spent over $100. Plus, Steven talked about this earlier. It's very therapeutic. Some people love it. Now, I personally spend 5 minutes waxing my board. I'm done. Some other people spend 10 minutes, spend 20 minutes. Also, there's this video right here. If you type in Tommy Bennett, just go to wax. This is also, you don't need to do this. I spelled that wrong, doesn't matter. You don't need to do this. But, check this out. The nerdiest snowboard waxing video ever with a US team member. This guy is a professional snowboarder who gets paid to snowboard, and he is racing. That's literally a picture of him winning, okay? This is a 35-minute long video on the absolute nerdiest nerd thing about waxing, and this guy waxes a snowboard like 5 times in a single session before he goes snowboard. So if you want to watch like a full wax video, here's that wax video. Second one, that one. Now the other one is, I don't do that, but you can. Oh, smoke 30 to 5 days of use. Great clarification question. It's of use. Because if it's just sitting there, it's fine. Jamie, do you think a smaller board is more controllable than a longer one? It can be more okay. Yes and no. What I like to say is a board shape, size, stiffness needs to enhance your snowboarding. So here's the situation. If you have a smaller board going faster, it's not as stable, therefore it's not as controllable. But if you're going slow speeds, yes, it's absolutely going to be slower. So it depends on the application that you're looking for. If you're trying to go fast, I would get a larger board, because that's actually going to be easier to control. If you're going slow, or if you're trying to ride big mountain, stiffer board or bigger board. If you're going park, I like to go kind of in the middle, because I want something that's going to be able to spin when I do tricks, but I also need the stability, because if it's too small, it's not stable. So I know that's not the answer you wanted, but I think there's a little bit more context to the question that needs to be defined, so that we can really get a good answer, if that makes sense. It takes me longer because I need to take breaks. That's definitely an option. Engine, that happens if you got a friend with a new snowboard shop. Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. Better gaming. What dogwood games do you play? Question mark. Best way to progress popping and air control. The best way to do it, honestly, is start on a small jump and start going popping an intensity of like 3 out of 10. Come back, go 4 out of 10. Come back, come 5 out of 10. Come back, go 6, 7, pop as much as you can on the same jump. But then you might need to adjust your speed so you're going a little slower every time because if you're popping bigger, you might be going way too big. But I would like really start to understand how to be in a solid, strong body position while in changing the intensity of your pop. That's going to be the jam. That's going to be like a really good way to do it, honestly. And if you had like 3 jumps in a row, do that. Start with like 3 out of 10 pop, 4 out of 10 pop, 5 out of 10. And I actually do this at summer camp. I'll have somebody, I'll be like, all right, show me a 3 out of 10 pop. And they'll show me something. I'm like, cool, now let's go to a 5. And they'll actually show me like a 3 out of 10 again. And I'm like, let's go 7. They show me a 3 out of 10. And I'm like, we got to really understand what these levels of intensity are. So by doing that, it's going to be good. Proxy, what up? Any recommendations for an app for recording my stats? Honestly, the only one that I've ever used is probably Slope, SLOPE, and that does like link to your watch so that you're able to like get some of that, but that's the only thing I can think of. Any advice on staying stacked and not leaning when jumps? I would say as you're about to go into the jump, think about pressing both knees out at the same time. Because if I'm like, it's going to be a little hard to like demonstrate, but like if I'm leaning back, and I'm trying to show you my knees. If I'm leaning back, that means this leg now becomes straighter, and do this at home. But if I lean back, you're going to notice that this back leg is, or the front leg is straight. But what if I'm here and I just bend that knee? Or I bend that knee and bring it out. The goal is to make sure that both knees are bent to the same rating so that you're able to now have that as a starting point. What ends up happening, and in addition, what ends up happening is the more scared you are of a jump, the more likely you are to be backseat. So if you're going into like a 100-foot jump and you know you're not going to make it, you're going to be backseat. But if you're on like a 3-foot jump, you know you're fine. You're going to be able to be in that same strong position with both knees in the way they need to be. So with that said, I would definitely say finding a jump that's appropriate, staying stacked, and then just go more intensity on that, not necessarily trying to go faster or in a scared position. Slope is how I know how far I went today. Do recommend. Tommy, do you still have the same pop as a few years ago? I would say probably about 80% the same, 85% the same. With 2 hip surgeries, I'm not there anymore. Yeah. Cool. Well, I think I'm going to end there, dude. We've been on for 3 hours and 24 minutes. Is that true? 3 hours, 24 minutes, and 32 seconds. My brain's fried. I'm hungry. I have a steak to eat. I need water. I love you all. Check out shopbenetek.com. Goal is to change the world, disrupt the market. You are amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out, vibing. A lot of you dudes have been here for like freaking 4 hours, 14 days, and 4 minutes. Like, I appreciate you just hanging out, vibing. And now we have more viewers than we had. Are you serious? What are you guys doing? But I appreciate all you guys for hopping in, vibing in. I appreciate all the love, the support. And is there a good way to tell the board stiffness before you buy it? Honestly, it's hard because like one company's stiffness rating is from 1 to 10. But let's just say that same company, their stiffness is like a 15, but it's rated 1 to 10. It can be just like absolutely like all over the map. So I would definitely say check their rating. But honestly, the best way, as I said earlier, is to demo the board because buying it online is really hard. Or check their return policy. It's like, all right, well, dude, I'm out. I'll see you next Wednesday. No, next Tuesday. Join me. Love you all. Appreciate you. Check out this week's video on Friday. I'm talking about 5 things if I were to start over in snowboarding, how I would start over and what I would do over. And Jen, I appreciate you for being here. Felix, Smoke, Jose, everyone, Beta Gaming, Proxy, like everyone who's been in here, Steven, Jen, dude, Sleeper, I appreciate you all for coming in. Henry, dude, all of you, I can't say enough to everyone, but Randy, I appreciate everyone for being here. You guys are amazing. You guys mean the world to me. And we're not stopping, even though we're ending. Yo, Jose, dude, Jose over here said, you got 5 minutes, LOL, and did a countdown. 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 1. Dude, you're a freaking god. Love all you. Bye. I'm out. Bye.